Happening, man. We back with another one. Damn YouTube Sports. Stay tuned live. JB, he in the back.
Yes, sir.
What's happening?
What's up?
Man, fell. What you know, bro? What's going on?
Just trying to stay warm up here. It been in the 40s.
Oh, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. You up there in that
They,
top. You up there by the mountains.
yeah, they talk about it's supposed to be extra cold this week. So
Man, nah, we in the 70s or lower 70s, 71, 72. But yeah, man, it's wild, bro. Like we were saying that 4 day, man. We just
uh, shout out to the young lady that passed away. Shout out to her family. Real talk.
yeah.
The young lady was trying to have a good time, and niggas being niggas don't know how to act.
Ain't got no home training.
Right. That no home training. A female tell you no, she don't want to holler at you. It's like 100,000 females out there.
Yeah, talk to another one.
Right. You tell me you cannot get on another female out there?
I don't know, man. It's we can't have shit, can't do shit.
Right.
And it ain't even no outsiders messing it up. We messing it up ourselves.
And they wonder why we don't come out. They wonder why don't nobody go to the movies and shit like that no more. They wonder why.
Man, it be a lot of shit happening over there at Atlantic Station too.
Yeah. They talk about shutting that down.
Atlantic Station?
Yeah. They're not going for it no more. They getting tired every time you turn on the news trying to do somebody killing somebody in the A. They're tired of that shit, man. And to be honest, I don't blame them because who wants to see dead bodies everywhere?
Man, they had something on Instagram. It was 107.9 in Atlanta. They posted a clip. I didn't see it all. I just seen it. I ain't actually click on it to see the video.
Wow.
But past and I seen it. They had the headlines are millennial parents to blame for unruly teen behavior. I seen that today. So I'm guessing that subject came up. I'm just guessing. I don't know because like I said, I didn't click on and see the full video. I just scrolled past it and seen the headline. But I'm guessing that video, it was posted today. So I'm guessing they posted it because of the incident that happened at 404 Day. You know what I mean? They asking all the millennial today's millennial are the millennial parents to blame for unruly teen behavior because there's a lot of shit going on that I would never came close to getting away with back in my days as a teenager.
I hate to say this. People tell you cannot discipline your kids no more. Think about it. When we were coming up,
we got our ass.
What? We got our ass whooped. Today, if you trying to discipline your child, you got CPS coming involved. You got this person coming involved. And you wonder why these kids acting like they do. Because you cannot discipline them no more.
That too. And you got a lot of parents now, not just females, but I'm talking about both men and women. They scared to discipline their kids.
Mm-hmm.
They try to be the kids' friend. They still trying to live their childhood through their friend. You know, a lot of kids, a lot of people having kids at an early age. So by the time, the parent turned 40, 42, 43, the child is, age is damn near about to graduate high school, if not graduate high school. So they're young enough to go out, party, hang out with their kids and still, do. So they not really being parents. They trying to be like homeboys and homegirls and stuff.
Right.
So a lot of shit they let slide like that's they homeboy, they homegirl, when in actuality that's they child.
Right. Remember, back
so it's just getting out, and then the kids see that the parents is kind of siding with them, so they gonna keep doing a lot of shit because they know their parents gonna keep siding with them and dumb shit that they do. and try to straighten them out. Then they want to, cause we see it all the time. Kids be at school acting school and shit, and then you don't come to the school for nothing else throughout the year. But soon as the teacher take the phone away, that's the line that's crossed where you got to go up there and try to student and fight another student or fight the teacher and all this other kind of shit. But that ain't nothing. But your child been disruptive all year and you ain't, but the line when they take the phone. See, that's the type of shit that kids egg on to. You know what I mean?
Remember, back when we were coming up, you had the whole neighborhood watching out for your kids.
And whooping your ass if you need
to. And whooping your ass. And your kid acting like a damn fool at my house, I'm finna call your parents. And whip your ass, then take you home and you get another ass whoop.
Yep. And depending on what you do, you ain't invited back to my house.
Right. We don't got that shit today. We don't got grandparents today that used to sit on the front porch. Hey, go somewhere. Stop that.
We ain't got that.
Now we got grandparents in their 40s and shit.
Yeah.
Going to the club and shit.
Hanging out with the kids and shit.
Right. I'm not finna be your friend. Right. I'm not finna teach you how to smoke weed. What? I'm not finna drink with you. That's not my job. My job is to provide a roof over your head and whip your ass when you get out of line.
Then the sad part about it is a lot of people be acting surprised when something tragic happen. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you should have, if you be around your child, you should know your child. I'm not saying that you know everything they do when they out of your eyesight, but you be around your child enough to know how he or she is. So when you go out there and do some shit that line up with the way that you know that they are, that you in denial about, you shouldn't be surprised when some tragic shit happened to them. Whether it's something happened to them or they do something to somebody else, you shouldn't be acting surprised because that's you really in denial. You see what I'm saying? Like you seen that shit in your child. You just surprised that it now happened. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we just can't have. So I'm telling you, man, that shit probably gonna end up like the Freaknik, man. They gonna shut this shit down or be forced down some kind of way. Because each year, like I said, it's getting bigger each year.
They used to have it on the east side over there off of West End Chapel. Now it was on the west side, and I like, damn. I called my cousin. He was like, "Run, you coming down here now?"
Nah, I ain't coming either.
I'm not going for that shit.
No,
why would I want to be around a bunch of young people that don't know how to act? You got a little liquor in your system.
Little bud, little liquor,
right? A little buzz.
They on every goddamn thing, Ron. Right. They goddamn they on the drink, not just liquor. I'm talking about they goddamn
everything.
Yeah.
No.
Double cup, a Sprite bottle.
No, I'm not. Nah. I stay my black ass right at home.
Yeah, man. Niggas don't know that. Well, they beans and yeah, man. Listen, they on everything.
Right.
They on everything. But speaking of, bro, what the hell was that altercation with Don Staley and Gino?
Don Staley whooped Gino ass in basketball. Gino was in his feelings. He lost. Now, this the same Gino that been winning for a long time in college, in female college basketball. But when a female whoop your ass, you don't know how to take it.
Because
you don't know how to take it.
Because UConn beat them last year in the national championship game, right?
Right. So he was in his feelings, and you went at her, and she ain't back down. She was like, "What you say?" What?
Man, that really was just uncalled for.
Why you took it away from the kids?
It really was.
You took. We salute Gino when you win it. You've been winning all these years.
Right.
We salute you. But time you lose back-to-back years, you don't know how to take it.
Yeah. Because UConn won it last year, right? Didn't they beat South Carolina?
I forgot who won it last year, but
I'm pretty sure. I think UConn won, if I'm not mistaken.
And it just sad because a lot of people don't know how to take their loss. You give it, but you don't know how to take it back.
Yeah, UConn won it last year.
Okay, so like I said, I mean, take your ass, go sit on it.
Yeah,
Then you gonna write this parallel there basically a whole front page apology. No. You were yelling at that lady, so come out and yell the apology.
Yeah, they beat UConn beat South Carolina last year in the national championship game.
That's what I don't understand. And you yell at a lady after this lady been whooping your ass during the game. You yell at her. Okay, it's your fault. The next day, go to a news station. Just like you were yelling at that lady, go to a news station and yell the apology.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You win some, you lose some.
Right.
You made it all the way to the Final Four. I mean, UConn is every year they goal is to not just make it to the Final Four. They goal is championship game, but you know,
I mean, that you take it away from what your kids did this year. You take it away from the young girls what they done, and you put the spotlight on you like you an asshole now.
But I'm shocked that South Carolina beat UConn the way they did, and then came out and let UCLA beat them the way they beat them. Like they blew out UConn and then got by UCLA.
It happens.
I thought they were gonna beat UConn in a close game, maybe like a 5 or 6 point game or something. Like that. And then once they played, matched up with UCLA, I thought it was gonna be a much closer game. But damn, they blew out UConn and then get to the national championship game and get the hell beat out of them. I said, damn.
It happens. Every year you will not win it all every year. It happens. Sometimes you just meet who got your number.
Yeah, and UCLA definitely had South Carolina's number.
Right. We see it in the NBA. We see it in college football. We see it on NFL every year. It'll always be one team win the chip in the NFL.
Yeah. So who you got tonight in the men's, Michigan or UConn?
Ooh, shit. I like both of them. But I got to go with Michigan. Michigan been whooping ass. I like Michigan. But my bracket, I had Duke winning all today. Did what they did, the Twins, and they fucked up. So I got to go with Michigan.
Yeah, I think Michigan gonna win because I mean anything could happen because we just talked about South Carolina beat the hell out of UConn, then turn around and got the hell beat out of them by UCLA. But looking at UConn beat Duke, they came from behind, got the turnover, dude nailed the three with point something seconds left or whatever. So that was a close one for UConn.
Yeah.
But Michigan beat Arizona. I had said when that game matched up Arizona and Michigan, I said the winner of this game is gonna win the whole thing.
Yeah.
They gonna win the national championship this year. Whoever win out of Arizona and Michigan is gonna win the national championship. So Michigan game. So I'm taking Michigan because Arizona ain't wasn't no pushover.
Right. Arizona had not been a pushover since when?
Yeah, Arizona they've been really. I don't even think Arizona fell out of the top 5 this year, top 6. They've been in the top 5 all year, right?
They've been that I know of. They've been top 5.
Oh yeah. That's if they didn't fall outside the top 5 fall.
Right.
And then they wasn't there that long. Then they jumped right back in. But I don't think they fell out of the top 5 or 6 this year.
So it's like Arizona is going to be a problem.
Yeah, and at one point in time, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Michigan was the number 1 team at one point.
Yeah.
And so Michigan been up there too. So
yeah, who got it that day? You better show up that day. If you don't show up, then you go home.
Yeah. So they got the right players. Elliot Cadeau transferred from UNC over there in Michigan. While we still we just hired Mike Malone. So the Tar Heels hired Mike Malone. I thought they was gonna hire Donovan, but they went with Mike Malone.
Right. I want to talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead. What you got?
Mike Malone. To me, Mike Malone should not have been back to college. Mike Malone, at this point in Mike Malone's career, he should have got any job in the NBA.
They said there were a couple teams that wanted to reach out. I did see 2 teams that wanted to consider reaching out to Mike Malone. I know one of them was the Pelicans.
I could see that. And the other one?
I can't remember who the other one was, but I know I seen the Pelicans. They were going to reach out to Mike Malone before he took the UNC job.
Right. I thought the New York Knicks were going to get him last year when they fired their head coach last year. I thought they were going to get him, Mike Malone.
Man, it's a couple coaches I think the Knicks could have reached out to other than Mike Brown. Now I'm grateful the brother got a job because
but
I think there was some other guys who the Knicks could have reached out to.
Yeah, they got a better resume than Mike Brown.
Yeah, so like you said, Mike Malone. Then you had Mike Budenholzer. And there's one more guy that was out there.
In the NBA? Yeah,
somebody else was out there.
Mark Jackson.
Yeah, Mark Jackson. He was there too. But I'm missing somebody. Was Frank Vogel? It might have been Frank Vogel that people were talking about.
I could see that, but to me, Frank in my opinion, I don't think Frank is a really good coach. I think he will start. You know how you drive every day, you get in your car and you start up the car?
Yeah.
I think that's what Frank is. He started the car up.
But, he can't.
Right. If you need to go down the street and around the corner, he's not the head coach to take that team around the corner.
So he good enough to crank the car and cut defrost on.
Right. That's what he is. Not keep it 100. He good enough to crank up the car.
A bubble chip, but he got a chip. You know what I mean?
Right. He good enough to crank up the car and maybe put $10 in gas in it. But you said, hey, I need to go to Walmart right now. And Walmart on the other side of town. Get out of the car, Frank. Come on.
Just go out there and crank it up, cut defrost on.
Right. That's all you need to do, Frank. Then get out of the car. He'd be like, what did I do? Well, you don't do, Frank.
You ain't got no driver license.
Right. So I
Yeah,
just
but I
think
mean, he got a well, it's a bubble chip, but you know,
right, but
got
you
one.
know we
But
really don't look at that like a
I
chip.
don't, I don't, I don't, I don't. I don't.
What?
I don't know why I
So
said that, but I don't.
do do he really got a chip?
I mean, nah, I mean, he do, but he don't. In my
Right.
eyes.
So it like when Boston Celtics won the chip back in the day, we covered on that Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. We respect that. They did it their way. I don't respect Frank. Motherfucker, you were in the bubble.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Motherfucker, you basically y'all were in college. Y'all were in the tournament, you were in college.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean,
That's what they do in college.
but I'm thinking the Knicks should have stuck with Tibbs, Tom Thibodeau, one more
But
year.
but once again, Tibbs, he did not play everybody. That
But in his, I'm just gonna throw this out there because you're right about what you said. But in his defense, they didn't have the depth last year like they got this year.
of course not.
So
But
that's why I was
like,
saying it with what they added to the team, they should have kept Tibbs one more year. And if he didn't get it done this year, because he was one game away from going to the NBA Finals last year, they went 7 games with the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals.
right, but
So
this
and
the
then you
kick.
bring this team back with more depth than you had last year, and he don't get a chance to coach it, and he had you one game away from the NBA Finals.
This the kicker. Let's just say they did bring him back.
Right.
And
With this
he
same team, that with
it's
this
the
team,
same team, but they got better players on the sideline.
yeah.
Veterans.
I'm saying Tibbs come back with the team
Right,
they got this year.
right.
Yeah.
Let's just say they get bounced out in the second round, then what?
Then you get rid of him.
But okay, but all the head coaches be gone then. Then what you gonna do then?
No, not really. I mean, all of them ain't gonna be gone because you could hire somebody from within.
But if you gonna get rid of the head coach, you wanna keep his sidekicks too? No, if I fire the head coach, all y'all got to go too.
I mean, in some cases that's true, but not all cases. You know what I mean? You might could just promote somebody within, and then they bring their own staff in. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
Because Jalen Brunson, daddy is on, you know, he is on the staff.
Yeah, but
So
that a
I mean,
little stuff that
that plus, I mean, we don't know who else is gonna be, available. But I would have just brought him back one year because you can tell the Knicks don't play with that same toughness this year that they played with last
I
year. They don't
I
they don't
don't
got that same.
and this is my opinion. I don't think New York Knicks ever been tough.
Well, they played tougher last year. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? They just didn't have the depth last year that they
but
got this year.
but let me say this. You know how you used to go to school and you know who to pick on
Yeah,
at school and they won't do nothing?
yeah.
That was the New York Knicks to me last year.
Huh. So they knew who to pick on, who not to.
They knew who to pick on. Oh, it's gonna be a cakewalk for if we face up with them. Then the Pacers hit back. The Pacers were that kid that got beat up by the bully so many times. The Pacers were like, no, not this year, player.
Yeah. But since we right here on this subject, let's just go ahead and get to this one. Which coaches, because we're gonna get to the Lakers. You know, they just had devastating injury. So while we right here, let's just go ahead and get to this
Okay.
with the NBA head coaches. Who is on the hot seat after this season?
The Lakers head coach
So JJ Redick is on the hot seat after this season.
on the hot seat. One, you don't got no expense. I I thought he should have never got the job, but since he buddy with LeBron James vouched for him.
So when LeBron gone, he's gone.
You might well say, why are we gonna keep you here?
When
LeBron
LeBron was the
headline
only
gone too. So
when
why?
LeBron is the only reason you're here.
Right? Why we gonna keep you here? LeBron not here no more. Just like his headline not there no more.
A lot of stuff in LA gonna change now
Right?
that Jeannie Buss is no longer in control of the team.
Right?
You know, so
All that shit. Yeah, they're like,
yeah, that new the new
LeBron.
the new ownership is about to rearrange things over there the way they
Right?
want. You know what I
They're
mean? They
like,
already done started, but you gonna really see it after the season over with.
right? LeBron might finna go to the Cavs, or he might finna go to Miami.
I don't think he's going back to Miami.
Well, or go back home to the Cavs and you play out next year or whatever, and you retire.
Yeah,
I mean, what else
but
he got to do?
I think was it Jamal Mosley in Orlando? I think he's on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the Orlando Magic, the team seems it looked like the team done quit on him. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he done lost the locker room. It looked like the team done quit on him. They 0-4 against the Hawks because we done whooped their ass 4 times this year, Ron. Twice in Atlanta, twice in Orlando. Banchero doesn't look like he's taking the next step.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then you look at the fact that they gave up 4 first-round picks in a trade for Desmond Bane. That ain't seemed to work out to what they thought. You know,
Right.
they on the verge of falling out. I don't got the standings in front of me, but the last time I looked, they got about 5 games left, and they on the verge of could possibly miss. Let me fact check myself. But with 5 games left, they gonna be a play-in team. You know what I'm saying? Could be on the verge of falling out of the play-in.
I don't even think that would be a play-in team.
Yeah, they got about 5 games left, and they'll be a play-in team. They gonna make the play-in. They gonna finish either in the 9th or 10th seed. Because
who the teams they got to play now?
Somebody left on their schedule?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna look it up. But right now, the Orlando Magic is a 9th seed team. They 42-36. They 1 game in front of the Miami Heat, so they could fall to the 10th spot and go through the play-in because they're gonna be a play-in team. Milwaukee is the 11th seed. Milwaukee's not catching up. Milwaukee's 10 games behind. So from 11 on down is out. They done.
Right. Who's the big man on Orlando Magic?
They got Wendell Carter, and then they got Franz Wagner. But I think Franz Wagner's like the power forward, and Wendell Carter is the center.
Well, one of them is a dirty motherfucker. Though when we played in the last game, and I was center was finna dunk or shoot that shot at the basketball, though, the big man gonna pull him down.
They got
now
that big man. I don't think he's the starter.
Well, whoever he is, he a dirty motherfucker.
I seen that. But the Orlando Magic got 4 games left. They playing the Detroit Pistons tonight.
A loss.
They got Minnesota Wednesday.
A loss.
They at Chicago Friday.
A win.
And then they finish the season Sunday at Boston.
A loss.
So they could lose 3 of these next 4 games.
Yeah. I said it a while back. The team don't respect the head coach. Orlando Magic's head coach. They don't respect him.
So we had Orlando losing 3 of the last 4 games. And they the 9th seed. The 10th seed Miami Heat, they got 4 games left too. So they got 2. They got 2 at Toronto.
They're gonna split one of those games.
They got one at Washington,
They're gonna win that one.
and then they finished the season at home against the Hawks. So
I
they could
think
they
that
could they could go 2-2 in these
right.
last
I
four.
think they're gonna win that one because we're gonna set our guys. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
But
So
that's just my opinion. I
so
mean,
they got three of the 4 games on the road. The last
right.
game of the season against the Hawks is the only home game they got left.
Mm,
So we talking about Orlando losing 3 of the last 4, and we talking about Miami splitting the last 4, going 2-2. So
right.
Orlando, Jamal Mosley, you could be on the hot seat, bro, because the team look like you don't look like you done lost the team.
But
Banchero ain't took the next step. You
but
know,
it's not his fault though.
I mean, he done lost the
If
team.
Van Carroll, you the superstar of the team, yes or no?
Yeah, he's
If
yeah he's
if he not listen to the head coach, you think everybody else gonna listen to the head coach?
well at the same time. I hear what you saying, but these
You-
grown men, so you got to do what you got to do. You can't do what another player doing because
Right,
if another player got an issue with the coach and I don't, then I can't not like the coach because he don't like the coach. Whatever him and the coach got going on, they need to talk about it in private, iron it out. I'm not gonna not like the coach because the other player don't like the coach.
right.
But you know what
But
I'm saying?
the way NBA is today is a superstar not listening to the head coach. Ain't nobody else on that team gonna listen to the head coach because the superstar not listening to him.
Yeah. So maybe he need to take a page out of damn. I think it's Charles Lee. His name. It's the coach in Charlotte. Remember, he benched Melo.
What?
So for whatever reason, he benched Melo for I don't know if him and Melo had a situation, and he just took immediate control and benched Melo just to make an example out of Melo for everybody else. That if the star in franchise or star in face of the team can be benched, so can anybody. The same way
But
Belichick made an example out of Tom Brady in front of everybody to let
right.
everybody else know that if the star player can get can get disciplined like this, so can everybody else.
But
So that's what
how
Charles
much?
Lee did with Melo. So maybe that's what Jamal Mosley should have done with Banchero,
But
just to
how
get
much
everybody else in
power?
line.
How much power do he have?
Well, if he the head coach, he gotta have power to bench players and not bench players. Just like Charles Lee. Charles Lee is even though he's not a veteran coach in the league, but he comes from a winning organization in Boston where he
But
was on the staff when they won it. The last time they won the chip, he was on the staff.
okay,
So he
I
got enough say so to where if he
do.
got to bench a player to make an example out of it, and look how Charlotte's played since then.
But
So
do he?
sometimes you got to do that.
But do he really got the say so though?
Who you
Let
talking about?
Let's be
Jamal
honest.
Mosley?
Yeah,
Jamal Mosley?
yeah. For
If he's
example,
if
the New
he's the
York
coach,
Giants, the New York Giants last year, when they were thinking about trading Saquon Barkley, did they ask the head coach? No.
who the Giant did they ask did the Giants ask the head coach could they trade Saquon Barkley?
Right. They said they did not even ask him. They were like, we don't
No,
need
well,
to ask.
I'm not talking about trading Banchero.
No,
I'm
I
only
know.
talking about
But,
sitting him down for a
right,
game or two
right.
to get
But
his.
I just
But when you do that, you gotta explain why you doing it. You just
right,
can't do it out of emotion. You gotta say, look, bro, you the leader of this team. You ought to start. You ought to face this franchise. We need you right so
right.
the whole team can be right because
But
you are our best player. So
but
what we
I
got to do now is we got to sit you down. So you whatever you got going in your mind,
right,
you need to clear it out. So let's sit you down for 2 games, and you clear your mind and let all these other guys play. So now when these other guys see you sitting, they could wake up and realize if the face of the team can be sat down for the way he's acting and doing, then maybe we definitely can. So let's
Right.
get our shit together, and you see how it worked for Charlotte. They've
Well,
been on a roll since Charles Lee did that to Melo.
right. Well, what I'm saying, how much power do he have to do that?
You don't listen. If you the head coach and you
You
got to do something, you just got to do it. Damn the power. If
sometimes,
listen, because it's either one or two things gonna happen. Either it's gonna work or it ain't gonna work. And now your ass on the hot seat anyway, in my opinion.
right.
So why
Sometimes,
not take a chance and do it and salvage the season? Because right now they didn't give up 4 first-round picks to get Desmond Bain to be a 9th or 10th seeded team in the East.
right. But sometimes your owner don't give you that much power.
Well, damn the owner. He's on the hot seat anyway.
You can't say that because he the one pay you your money.
Listen, if Banchero is not giving me what he's supposed to give me, and I'm starting to see the team shift because I'm not coming down on him, then it's time to come down on him. I'm not going to the owner to say, can I bench Banchero? I'm not talking about benching him permanently. I'm talking about just benching him for maybe 2 games to clear his mind, to give him a
Right.
wake-up call. Let the other guys go out there and play. And once he get back, have a sit down, meet with him and say, look, bro, we need you. We can't have you out here doing this.
I mean,
Whatever your issue is, let me know. So we can
that,
get, because we grown men. I'm here to coach. So now that you got this situation with Jamal Mosley, yeah, it's on the hot seat anyway. So it
right.
wasn't gonna hurt for you to sit the star player down to try to
But
get to maximize the most out the team, because you on the hot seat anyway. Ain't but one
is
or
it?
two things gonna happen. Either it's gonna work or it ain't gonna work.
But okay, is it about winning or is it about selling tickets?
It's about winning.
But the owner of the Magics could say, "Shit, I just want to sell tickets. I don't care
But
about winning."
I'm talking about just 2 games out of 82 game
Right.
season.
I'm
So you're
with
not
you.
gonna miss a ton of ticket sales in just 2 games.
But I just saying the owner could say, "Shit, I just want to sell tickets." We Hawks fan. We been there. We been there.
Right.
We just coming out of that. Our owner at the time did not give a fuck about the Hawks. His son did some grimy shit. So
I don't think it's about just selling tickets. If
but
if the Orlando Magic own, I don't think it's about just selling tickets with the Orlando Magic own. Because remember, they gave up 4 first-round picks to Memphis in a trade for Desmond Bain. So you don't give up 4 first-round picks to not win, to only sell tickets. Because you could have kept them 4 first-round picks and got a rookie that's gonna help you sell some tickets this year.
what?
So it ain't just they gave up too much to say I just want to sell tickets. 4
But when
first rounders ain't nothing to sneeze at for that.
right,
For
I,
Desmond
I
Bain, in my opinion, wasn't worth 4 first rounders, but they
I'm
gave it
with
up to
you on
Memphis to get
that.
him.
I'm with you on that. But we gotta understand how Orlando Magic's owner think. Do he want to just sell tickets or do he want to win?
I think he want to win. That's why he gave up them 4 first round picks.
He
The
might
same way the same way the Knicks gave up 5 first for Mikal Bridges.
right. Stupid.
Yeah,
But
I
I
wouldn't have gave up 4 first,
understand
but
that that team basically played together in college. The New York Knicks, right?
yeah,
They
the
played together in college.
the Villanova Connect.
Right. So I understand that. I don't understand the Orlando Magic shit.
I'm not giving up 5 first round picks to get a guy who my guys already played college ball with. Damn that.
But
The hell with that. Now, if y'all just happen to be on the same team at some point in y'all NBA career, okay, cool. But I'm not fixing to give up 5 first round picks to make it happen. And you're not a star player,
right,
because let's be real, Mikal Bridges hadn't even made an all-star team.
right. I'm with you on that. But what
Damn,
I'm
man.
saying,
Now, if we
the
get him at a bargain price, okay, no problem. But I'm not giving up five first round picks. You should get a superstar player with 5 first round picks.
right, but
You could arguably the Knicks could be in position to get Giannis had they kept them 5 first round picks and not
right,
traded them for Mikal Bridges.
right. But the only way Orlando Magic's, okay, let's just say that soon the season over with, regular season, they tear all this shit down, right?
Who,
They fire the
Orlando?
head coach,
Orlando?
Orlando.
Well, I don't think they're gonna tear it all down. I
What?
think they got a team where they're gonna go and try to bring a coach in to
Right,
try to help them win, you know.
right. Let's just say they get Mark Jackson, right? They they call Mark Jackson, they fly Mark Jackson out there. Hey, Mark, how much it would take for for us to pay you to be our head coach?
I don't even think they're gonna go and get Mark Jackson. I
I mean,
think Mark Jackson, yeah, Mark Jackson to
uh,
the NBA to me is like Colin Kaepernick. It just ain't
right,
gonna happen. You know what I'm
but
saying?
I mean,
Hate to say it, but
I
I see
just
what you're
was saying.
saying. Right.
So if Mark Jackson said, "I want 175 for 5 years," if I'm Mark Jackson, I would ask them, "Can I do it my way?" You did it your way, and you have not got nowhere. So let me do it my way. Why Mark Jackson? He was a point guard in the NBA. Yes or no?
Yeah, he was a point guard. Yeah, it was good.
He know how to develop teams. He know how to put a team together. What else? I mean, his resume speaks for itself. That's why I said Mark Jackson. The
Yeah,
resume
Orlando,
Mark Jackson got speak for itself.
because last year Orlando they was a 500 team. They was 41 and 41.
Right.
They make the
But,
play in as a 7 seed.
right. But once again, they're not listening to the head coach. Ain't nobody on that team listening to the head coach. I said
Yeah,
that a couple of weeks ago.
yeah, I think they just need a new voice. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
just
A
need,
new voice in the locker room. If they
yeah.
get somebody that bring discipline, like a Mark Jackson or somebody like that, they got the discipline, they got the resume that he have, I think he could turn that team around.
So
They
Mike
just,
Malone is Mike Malone is off the table because he at UNC. What about Mike Budenholzer?
no,
Not Mike Budenholzer.
no. I don't think he bring that discipline.
Mike
That
Budenholzer.
yeah. I don't I don't think he bring that discipline like Mark Jackson got that discipline. If you look at Orlando, they've been crashing out for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
When the last time they won a game?
Who? Orlando.
Orlando.
Um. I don't know. I'll tell you. Hold on. I'll tell you. They could bring in Taylor Jenkins
They could.
because I don't think he coaching nowhere. He got fired from Memphis,
They could.
and I think he was the head coach in Memphis when Desmond Bain was there.
Right.
So,
But
and
once again, you got two superstars on the team now. You got Desmond Bain. You might well say he a superstar. What they
Desmond
gave up
Bain,
to
nah,
give him, to
they
get
gave
him.
up a they gave up a superstar. They paid a superstar price, but he ain't a superstar player.
I could agree with that. Okay. So you got your real point guard that is a superstar, but the only thing he not listening to the head coach,
Who you talking about? The Jalen Suggs or
the
Anthony Black?
the point guard for
An-
Orlando.
Anthony Black. The
Who?
only star player they have, um, or face is Bankero. And
That's who
then you
I'm
right
talking
and then right there up under will probably be Franz Wagner.
about. Okay, Van Kel will not listen to nobody.
Yeah. I think he plays small
You
forward.
right. You bring in a head coach that won or put a legit team together with no
The Orlando
superstar.
the Orlando Magic won 2 in a row. They won
Okay,
Friday at Dallas and Sunday at New Orleans.
all right. You bring in a legit head coach that know how to put a team together without a superstar that make superstars better. Mark Jackson. That that would have been Mike Malone, but he at the college now.
Yeah, UNC. Yeah.
So I look at those two. I mean, you can't go wrong with that one now. But that's just my
It's
opinion.
so is there any chance that Mike Brown is on the hot seat if the Knicks don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals? Because
No, no,
remember, Thibodeau had them in the Eastern Conference Finals, 1 game away from the NBA Finals, and he got fired.
he just getting there. That be different if you with a team for 4 years or 3 years and you just got to the East one time and that's it. That a bit different. The difference between Mike Brown and the ex head coach, Mike Brown played everybody. The ex head coach did not play everybody. He just played his starters.
So what if Mike Brown plays everybody and they still fail to get to the Eastern Conference Finals
Yeah,
on a deeper team this year than they had last year with Tibbs as the coach?
I think they're gonna get him another year. That's what I think.
So you think he gets another year and they gonna retweak the roster? They gonna
Yeah,
trade somebody like
yeah,
Mikal Bridges, which in my opinion, I think the New York Knicks are in the negative with
yeah,
Mikal Bridges because first of all, you gave up 5 first rounders for
yeah,
goddamn Mikal Bridges, which was
yeah.
too damn much when you could have literally had been in position to get Giannis with 5 first round picks. So that's
Right,
number one. Number two, you're not gonna get close to that return back for Mikal Bridges if you trade him.
right. I with you.
So so you're in the negatives with Mikal Bridges on top of the contract, and you probably gonna have to find a third team involved because if you're trying to go after a guy like Giannis, in my opinion, the New York Knicks don't have no young players that a team like Milwaukee could use to rebuild with. Because if you
Right,
get rid of Giannis, if the Milwaukee Bucks get rid of Giannis, let's be clear, they're gonna rebuild.
right.
And the New York Knicks don't have any young
Young
players that you
players.
can start to rebuild with.
Right. And
So
that
that what
will.
makes absolutely no sense without those five. Now, if you had them 5 first round picks, then you can rebuild with them
Right,
picks. But you don't have them 5 first rounders at your disposal because you gave it up for Mikal. So Mikal Bridges got you, and not to talk bad about Mikal Bridges, but that got the Knicks in the negative right now,
right.
in my
And
opinion.
but once again, when you got people in the front office that don't know the game of basketball, this the shit they do. Just like,
Then you got
just like
then what
the
you gonna
Hawk,
do? Trade
huh?
Cat? Then what you gonna do? Trade Cat? They already got Miles Turner there, who they just signed this offseason.
To me, I would.
But what does that do? But uh what does that do for the Milwaukee Bucks? You can't build a team around Cat. If the Milwaukee Bucks trade
Well,
Giannis, they are gonna be rebuilding from the ground up.
you
They're
know
not
where
they're not patching and plugging and keeping moving. They gonna do a demolition job. Doc Rivers gonna be out of that, which he probably already gonna be out of any damn way, and
what
they gonna be rebuilding from
the ground
shit.
up.
Yeah, they gonna be rebuilding from way out there in Green Bay, Ron.
You
They
know
ain't gonna be
where
be rebuilding in Milwaukee. They gonna start out there in Green Bay and work their way back into Milwaukee. That's how far the rebuild gonna be
you
for Milwaukee.
all judging aside, you know where I think Giannis might be going?
Where?
LA,
Which LA? Clippers,
Lakers.
Lakers?
Lakers. This is what they do.
Who are they trading? Austin Reaves and who else?
Any
Because
young player,
LeBron gonna be a free agent.
right? You trade 2 of your 3 young players on the team.
Who is that? Okay, we know they're not trading Luka. DeAndre Ayton is gonna be a free agent. LeBron is gonna be a free agent. Even if LeBron wasn't gonna be a free agent, but he is gonna be one, he still wouldn't be going to Milwaukee, in my opinion. So
It,
no LeBron. Who you gonna trade? Austin Reaves and who else? Hachimar.
yeah, why not?
Okay, Austin Reaves, Hachimar,
Now,
and
Austin Reeves staying with the Lakers.
nah, he got to be in the deal because Dalton Connect ain't gonna be enough. Shit, they already had a failed physical with Dalton Connect to the Hornets.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Dalton Connect, and hell, I don't even think Dalton Connect been cracking the rotation lately, or at least I ain't been seeing him when I've been
Me
checking
either.
in, peeping in, and seeing the late. So Austin Reeves has got to be in the deal.
They ain't got
There's no
enough.
way in the hell that the LA Lakers, Milwaukee trades Giannis to the Lakers without at least getting Austin Reeves in the deal.
They got to have 5 first-round draft picks. Austin Reeves. They ain't got enough young talent.
They
But
don't.
They don't want Rui. They don't want. I don't know who they got
but
on
the
the
problem
market.
is,
Unless a third team gets involved that
right,
has the young players that
Yeah.
get sent to Milwaukee. But it
this,
can't just be young role players. It's got to be players that Milwaukee that will actually play and fit
right,
into a rebuild for Milwaukee.
but
And picks.
this the same thing what Dallas did to the Lakers. I mean, what the Lakers did to Dallas. They get Luka. The same thing.
They gave up AD though.
Okay.
Yeah.
AD was on the back end of his career. He's not the same AD from 4 years ago.
He's not, but they ain't got nobody close.
It's gonna be hard for Giannis to get exactly where he wants to go because the places he want to go don't have the return that Milwaukee wants. Because,
Right.
like I said, when Milwaukee trade Giannis, they're gonna be in a full-blown rebuild. If you ain't
But
got young pieces and picks to help us rebuild, that's a no-go unless you get a third team involved that got that.
did Giannis come out and say the teams he wanted to go to?
He was interested in the Knicks. The Knicks don't have what Milwaukee needs in a rebuild
Right.
unless the Knicks can find a third team to get involved.
If I was the Knicks, I would go look at the Blazers.
So if you were to view the Knicks, you will go look at the Blazers to get who?
Put them in the deal. They got a lot of young players over there, the Blazers do.
But what are the Blazers gonna get out of it? They not getting Giannis.
They get cap relief.
For who?
Everybody.
But what? Hold on, because what you mean? Okay, you said the Blazers are gonna get cap relief. But
Right.
what are they? I mean, who are the Blazers going after?
I would trade
Like I said,
the head coach.
the deal gotta make sense for both, because Chauncey Billups ain't the coach over there no more.
Right.
He got caught up in the whole gambling shit.
Right.
So
we don't know who the coach over there.
the Portland Trailblazers are still building. They just brought a veteran Dame Lillard back. So
Right.
they still building a young squad. You know what I'm saying? They got Scoot Henderson over there, Shane Sharp over there. They brought back a veteran in Dame Lillard. They got what's the big boy they played at UConn? Donovan Clean over there. They got now one contract they do need to move off of is Jeremy Grant. So they need to find some way to move off of Jeremy Grant. And they got Hanson Yang over there, who they just drafted last year. So they got young talent mixed with the veteran Dame Lillard.
Right.
So that wouldn't make any unless they can find some way to move Jeremy Grant. It's just not gonna help. It's not gonna help Portland.
I mean,
Portland to be helping other teams instead of them getting help.
But I just saying, I think about the team that got young talent. They'll want
And then Portland might want to hang on to that young talent.
They might, but do you want to win?
I mean, Portland, they got the bill, so you're not gonna You're not about to win right away anyway if you Portland.
but
You know what I'm saying?
we
You still got to go through a building process, and then
but
who
we
knows?
What up, OG? What
Who
up, OG?
then who knows? Portland might go out and get a coach that can do something similar for that team like Charles Lee doing for right now for the Hornets.
I mean they could, but we just talk about do you want to sell tickets or do you want to win?
I mean, you want to do both, but if you Portland,
You
you ain't even the Charlotte Hornets probably didn't expect for them to be. I mean, they probably did because you on a team, you always want to think positive about your team winning and what you can and capable of doing. So the team probably thought that they were good enough to be in this position, but
what?
the masses and the media people didn't think the Hornets were going to be good enough
What?
to be in this position. But they went out and got a coach that came from a winning organization in Boston, and he
What?
brought that culture and mentality to Charlotte. So who to say that the Portland Trailblazers can't go and find somebody, let's say, on the Detroit Pistons staff that's gonna come bring that same identity from Detroit to, even though Detroit, they ain't won no chip since when Ben Wallace and them
Yeah,
was there.
yeah.
So there's been a while, but Charles
That
Lee, who coaching the Hornets now, he was on the staff when Boston won the chip, what, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that.
3 years ago.
Yeah, so maybe it's a
But,
scenario where they find a coach that bring a coaching identity with
I
the
mean,
young talent that they got. So
yeah, but once again, how much power will you give that young coach? You
what
go
you
back
mean?
to that again. How much power will you give him? What I mean by power, if he said, I'm going to sit my superstar down,
They don't have a superstar.
but when I say, okay, let's just say the point guard for the Trailblazers, your mama said he a superstar.
Which one? Scoot Henderson or Dame Lillard? Because
Dang.
Dame is out. Is Dame still a superstar player?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I would trust him any day of the week.
Well, OG said Portland in the rebuilding stages be a while before the talent is balanced.
Right. So,
Yeah. So that's what
but,
I'm saying. Portland is not about to just give away the young talent that they
right.
building with.
But what I'm saying, if we going to bring over the new head coach, how much power will you give that new head coach to say
To do
who he wanted to trade, who he wanted to sit, and all that? How much power will you give them?
it depends on what coach you bring in, because if you bring in a young head coach to fit the young players, then he's not going to get that kind of power until they start winning. But if you bring over a veteran coach, which I doubt takes that job, that veteran coach is going to get power right out the gate. That's going to be negotiated before he even take the job.
Right. So I could see Mark Jackson or somebody from the Rockets assistant
What about
or
Sam Cassell?
Sam Cassell. I could see people like that, coaches like that. Sam Cassell been around the NBA for how long? Almost 40 years.
Yeah, he been on
Uh,
the staff for a minute.
right. And they just on the staff. I talk about around the NBA.
Oh, because
They're like,
Portland right now, bro, Portland right now is in the play-in. The Portland Trailblazers right now are ahead of the Golden State Warriors in the play-in.
okay, let's just say Portland beat. What number they at? What seed they in?
Bro, Portland got I think it's like 4 games left in the regular season. Portland got a 4-game lead on Golden State right now in the 9th spot. So Portland right now is probably gonna make the play-in. No, I ain't gonna say probably. They are gonna make the play-in.
Right. Let's
Because
just say,
the worst they're gonna finish is 10th. So if they if they lose the last 4, and let's say Golden State win the last 4, they just gonna swap. It's just Portland gonna go to 10, and Golden State gonna jump to 9.
what?
But right now, it's a good chance they're gonna finish as the 9th seed, because Golden State is the 10th seed, with 36 wins and about 4 or 5 games left to go. And after Golden State, it's the Memphis Grizzlies with 25 wins. So you might as well say the Golden State and Portland gonna be in the play-in. It's just a matter of whether they're gonna be a 9th or 10th seed, but they're gonna be in the play-in.
OG said, I like to see Giannis with Clippers, Minnesota, or the Warriors. He said Mark Jackson supposed to be the Warriors' assistant coach next season.
See, I don't want to
He
see
said
Giannis
he
with the
said see
Clippers.
Giannis where? With Minnesota, the LA Clippers,
Minnesota, Clippers, or Warriors.
Ooh,
or Warriors.
Warriors already tried.
if you put Giannis on Minnesota,
But I don't see who. I'm not understanding who the Golden State Warriors would give up in a deal to get Giannis that would make sense for the Bucks.
They not giving up pods. That's why they won't make the trade. I mean,
but to me, that wouldn't be a good trade if I'm Milwaukee, because
we don't
even
got
if you
Kuminga
put,
no more.
Y'all don't have who?
We don't got Kuminga to trade no more. We can't get him.
Yeah. Kuminga's gone. Then you got Jimmy Butler, but Jimmy Butler is now in his stage is not a player you build a team around. You know, he's an addition to a team, but like I said, if you walk and trade Giannis, they are in full-blown rebuild mode. The coach is getting fired. They bringing in a young coach. They can coach young talent. And Jimmy Butler is not a player that you build around at this point in his career. He's an addition to a team that's already somewhat together.
but if
So
they
we
trade,
got picks. We ain't got no more players.
let me say that if they trade Giannis to Minnesota,
Moses Moody is not getting traded either because he pretty much out next 2 years.
if they trade Giannis to Minnesota, man, Anthony Edwards, you might well pin some them.
So who will be in that deal? Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo,
and the tall, goofy
Rudy Gobert.
Yep.
That wouldn't make sense because they got Miles Turner in Milwaukee.
You could trade Miles Turner to somebody else that need a bit man. I just saying.
But then again, if you do that, you would have to have a third team to move Gobert to Milwaukee and move Miles Turner from Milwaukee somewhere else.
Or just, to me, if you trade him to Minnesota,
are they throwing Nas Reed in there?
You got to. You don't got no choice. If you trade,
I'm gonna tell you the team that Milwaukee would be interested in trading Giannis too, but I'm not sure if that team would be interested in Giannis because they already playing well without him. And it's a team with a shitload of picks and young players. It's the OKC Thunder.
Then you just fucked up. You might as well don't get in the championship right then and there.
Think about it. They got tons of young players and they got a shitload of draft picks.
Then
they got more draft picks than they know what to do with them.
And guess who gave them those draft picks?
It's several different teams. They took on bad contracts and got picks for doing it. And they traded Paul George, which they probably still eating off that, and a few other teams they eating off of. So they got a shitload of picks and they got young players. They got more picks than players they gonna add to the team. Because they already got Chet Holmgren locked in. They already got Shai Gilgeous locked in. They already got Jalen Williams locked in. They traded for Jerry McCain. They still got Hartenstein there. Carson Wallace there. Lou Dort there. They got young talent to trade with a shitload of picks. And even if they trade a lot of picks to get Giannis, they still got a shitload of picks to replace the players that they traded with in the deal.
Right. If you trade Giannis, I'm finna tell you now, to Oklahoma, you might well pencil them men into the finals.
So Chet Holmgren, he's gone. Because you gotta remember, you still gotta match contracts. The money still gotta match. Match up some, close to matching up some kind of way. So you're not getting rid of Shea, you're not getting rid of Jalen Williams. So Chet Holmgren will be the odd man out. Lou Dort, them two will be gone. And and all the other young depth that they got on the bench.
Right. You might well pencil them in going to the finals. If that
So
would happen, ain't nobody in the West will beat that team.
and then you look at the picks you're gonna get. So that will put Miles Turner at the 5, Chet Holmgren at the 4. If you throw Lou Dort in the deal, he'll be at the 3. You know, so now you just gotta get your backcourt together, and you gonna have tons of draft picks to do it with.
Right. That
So OKC would that I mean that's a team that you don't have to get a third team involved with to
right.
get the deal done.
But that's the only team in the West. If you put Giannis on Minnesota, you might well say Minnesota going to the finals. If you put Giannis on Oklahoma going to the finals and win it for the next 4 years.
So who you think would have a better offer for Giannis? OKC if they wanted Giannis, or Minnesota?
OKC.
Yeah, right.
All those draft picks.
That's what I'm saying.
That you might well say.
And they got young players under contract. Chet Holmgren is young.
You might well say. You might well go pencil. You don't write that name versus somebody in the East for the finals. I guarantee that'd be like a super team. I guarantee
it. They don't have no problems giving up first round picks.
Right.
OKC, they got a ton of them.
You might well don't say that the team going to the finals in the West. If that would happen.
If that happens, but the thing about it is, do they want to bring in Giannis when they've already won a chip without him, and they the favorites to probably get back to the NBA Finals again this year?
I mean, I just saying.
So if you doing all that without a player like Giannis, and I'm not discrediting none of the other players on the team because Shea MVP and he's on the team, but I'm saying if you done this without Giannis, then why would I want you to give up all this, assets to get Giannis when we've won a chip without him, and we the favorites to get back to the finals without him?
I mean, I just saying how it'd be like the Miami Heat with Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh, or the Boston Celtics, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen.
Well, they just won the chip last season, so it's not like we talking about OKC won the chip 6-7 years ago. They just won it last season, and they the favorites to get back there again this season.
Right, but
one of it's a couple other teams in different. People think different about, like some people think got San Antonio up there, which that ain't a bad pick because they got a chance to get there too.
Pick, but
they got a chance to get there.
Right,
they give OKC problems.
Hold on, let me read this comment real quick. Ron OG said Memphis need a big body. I'm just saying, however, Giannis look good and look good on the Phoenix Suns. Regardless what team Giannis go to the West, San Antonio going to have problems.
Yeah.
You said San Antonio going to have problems if Giannis go to the West?
To the West. They're going to have big problems.
Hold on, you saying if Giannis goes to San Antonio, or you saying if San Antonio
goes to the West?
Oh.
If Giannis goes to a West team.
You got
depends on the team.
Like you got the Phoenix Suns. You got Little Memphis. You got Minnesota.
If he team up with Booker, it'd be cool.
Let's just say Phoenix. Okay, what is Phoenix giving up to get Giannis?
I don't know who Phoenix got.
They got Jalen Green, which is a young talent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They got Dylan Brooks. Cause let's just take Devin Booker off the table. They're not giving up Booker. Devin Booker is so we're not even mentioning Booker because the Booker's not part of the deal at all. So you got Jalen Green, which is a young talent that could work because that's a young talent that they would like to have. You got Dylan Brooks, a tough nosed guy.
Yeah, see,
Dylan Brooks.
Yeah,
he bring that culture.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he bring that. He'll be like another version of what they got in Bobby Portis.
I guess to me, if you gonna talk
and
you better
who else? And then who else? So you got Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks. So that's 2 contracts. And what picks do they have? Because remember, they lost a lot of picks in the Bradley Bill and KD trade.
Yeah.
So they don't have, and like I said, that's another team that's got to get a third team involved to give Milwaukee the picks.
So,
but if you look at a team like San Antonio, who got young playing picks, if they wanted to go that route, they got young players and picks.
But that'd be like David Robinson and Tim Duncan all over again.
So that'll be your 4 and 5. That'll be Wemby and Giannis at your 4 and 5.
Right.
You got a De'Aaron Fox that you could trade. You got is Keldon Johnson still? You got him you could throw in. You got picks. So San Antonio's another team that's got the talent that don't need a third team, because De'Aaron Fox is on a big contract. So he got contracts that could they got contracts they can throw out there to match up.
Right, but
then you throw in a veteran just to sweeten up the deal. Harrison Barnes is a veteran, just throw him in there.
But you don't want to put that on San Antonio. You definitely, it would be Tim Duncan and David Robinson all over again. If that would happen, I guarantee that Tim Duncan, David Robinson all over again.
But then again, at the same time, would you want to bring Giannis in and kind of interfere with what you got with Victor Wembanyama? Not that I'm saying that it's gonna definitely be like that, but would you run the chance of bringing a player like Giannis in that's gonna disrupt the flow of a growing Victor Wembanyama?
No, I would not do that, in my opinion.
So San Antonio is good the way they are.
Right.
And they one of the favorites to get to the Western Conference Finals too. So they done built all this up without Giannis.
Right.
So,
but one team people not talking about, Minnesota. I would love for Giannis to go to Minnesota and Anthony Edwards. Now be honest, Anthony Edwards, don't y'all nobody to help him in Minnesota?
Who would you throw in the deal? Julius
Everybody
Randle
and their mama. Who other than Anthony Edwards, who else on that team that average 30 points a game?
Well, it's a lot of teams that don't have 2 players that average 30 points a game.
Okay. How about 20 points a game?
I don't know. Julius Randle, I think he averaged 20. I think. Let me double check.
I'll be trading him in a heartbeat. Bye.
Yeah, he would be part of the deal. Yeah, but I think he averaged. Hell, he averaged 21. He averaged 21.75 this year.
Okay, bye.
So yeah, put him in the deal. And then who else?
The mascot, whoever that is. Whoever.
So that would be Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo. Who is the point guard there? Because they traded Rob Dillingham to Chicago.
What? To be honest, I would make Anthony Edwards the point guard. If that would happen, that'd be like Magic Johnson, and that'd be like what's his name? Who played for the Lakers back in the day? The big man.
Wilt?
Who the other one?
Center, power forward? Who?
Center. With Magic was there.
Oh, to my Kareem?
That'd be like them all over again. And Anthony Edwards would get help. Once again.
Would you throw Nas Reed in there?
Yeah. And I throw the mascot in there, whoever that is.
They got the other dude that came over in the Chicago Bulls trade. I can't pronounce his name. Ayo. I can't pronounce his name. So Giannis to Minnesota.
Yep, that's what I would do. You talk about you want to keep Anthony Edwards. He talk about coming home. The best way to keep him there, you pull out that trade, Giannis to
But the
Minnesota.
thing about it is, I think what's gonna help him stay is Minnesota's gonna be able to offer him the max that other teams won't.
Bingo.
I'm talking about Minnesota in Anthony Edwards. They're gonna be able to offer him the max that other teams won't.
But what I'm saying, you bring in Giannis over there, Anthony Edwards don't got to do that much no more.
Nah,
He
they don't.
He did take a back seat. The Giannis average what 30 plus, 25 plus, something like that. Yeah. I heard you do that trade if I'm Minnesota.
So if you do that, what's the pecking order? Is it Ant-Man the number one option, then Giannis the number two?
It should not even matter. Whoever to win the game. Whoever hot
Well,
that night.
well, you know how it is that they got one,
Right.
number one option, number twos or
Right.
whatever.
To me, you can't go wrong with that one. Though you don't know who's going to get the ball. So that means the other team got to double team Giannis and Anthony Edwards. You will leave somebody wide open. That's who will get the ball.
Well, I mean,
like I said, be like Miami Heat again. Be like Boston Celtics again, because you never know who will have got the rock.
right.
So you making a problem for other teams. They're just like with the Warriors when they had Steph, Clay, and Draymond Green. You don't know who got the rock that day. They'll be like that.
Well, I never really looked at Draymond is the one that's gonna be scoring the buckets like Steph and Clay.
Right, but you know he can shoot a 3-pointer here, a 3-pointer there.
Yeah, he could occasionally he could knock it down. Yeah, he
Right,
shoot it.
that's what I mean.
He shoot a three ball.
That's what I mean. It's gonna be like that all over again with Minnesota. If they will pull that off, I guarantee it. Both of them average 25 points a game.
So you think that's what's gonna happen? Yeah, Giannis to Minnesota.
It needs to happen on Minnesota end
This summer.
this summer. That needs to happen on Minnesota end. If I'm Minnesota, I'll be on the phone with Milwaukee right now. Who you want? You want Rudy Gobert? Done. Who else you want? If I'm Minnesota and I'm trying to get to that chip next year, let me get Giannis.
So they gonna start Nas Reed at the 5. But then again, if you Indiana, you gonna have 2 5s. You have Miles Turner, that's gonna be making big money, and then you got because Miles Turner just got a contract this summer,
Right.
so he only 1 year into his deal,
Right.
and then you gonna have Rudy Gobert making whatever his contract is.
I'm sure they will redo Rudy Gobert contract.
So he signed a 3-year, $110 million extension in 2024.
Yeah, I will redo Rudy Gobert contract. I be like, yeah, you were 2-year defensive player of the year with them, but
So
he
got a player option next year in 2027.
Right. That's what
27, 28 season.
That's what I would do if I'm Minnesota. That I know I'm Anthony Edwards. I get to do so much.
So he almost 40 mil a year. That's
Yeah.
30 something million a year.
I mean, I just saying, if I'm Minnesota, if I'm Anthony Edwards, I'd be on the phone with the owner of Minnesota right now. Hey, let's go get Giannis. You team me up with Giannis, who will be in our way?
Miles Turner got a 4-year, $108 million deal. So you looking at what, 20,
Maybe,
what, 26, 27?
maybe 25, 26.
Yeah,
Somewhere
because
like
25 at 4 is 100. So you looking at what, 26 million or whatever?
yeah.
26 point something million.
I
And
mean,
then you got Rudy Gobert's 35
right.
plus million. So
If
you're looking at
I'm
damn near 60 million a year tied up into your front court, and they
right,
don't score like that.
right. If I'm Minnesota, if I'm Anthony Edwards and the front office of Minnesota, to get to the finals, you do that deal. Real talk. I don't see nobody else coming out of the West. If that deal get done,
Hold on, you don't think that San Antonio Spurs can still beat Minnesota in a series?
nope.
Because you add Giannis and and Minnesota's giving away who?
You Randolph,
You know what I'm saying? So you giving up a lot to
but
get Giannis.
a person
San
like
Antonio ain't
Giannis,
giving them nothing.
but a person like Giannis, we don't see that every year.
We don't. We don't.
A person like Giannis, okay, let's just say they be in the playoffs. Minnesota versus San Antonio. Who gonna stick on Anthony Edwards on San Antonio?
You said on San Antonio, who they gonna stick on Anthony Edwards? They probably gonna stick Stephon Castle.
Okay, who gonna stick on Giannis?
That'll probably be the matchup with him and Victor.
Victor don't stand a chance with that.
Yeah,
Victor,
and then Giannis still got to guard Victor.
right. But I would take Giannis over Victor in the day of the week.
You still got Dylan Harper. We're gonna stick Dylan Harper. We're
You
gonna
could
stick
get
De'Aaron Fox.
just like the Miami Heat did it back in the day. You could get veterans that couldn't take a 1 year deal.
Yeah, they could take a 1 year deal, but veterans taking 1 year deals, how good are they? Usually just role players.
That's all you need, role players. You don't need, you need somebody to give you maybe 10, 15 points. If you can find players to give you 10, 15, do the dirty work, rebounds, all that shit, you good. Miami Heat did it. Boston Celtics, Paul Pierce and them did it.
Yeah,
The Lakers,
but they had a big three.
but
If
that
Giannis goes to Minnesota, that won't be a big three.
you might well say Giannis 2 players in 1.
Because it didn't even work when Dame came to Milwaukee.
Yeah, but you might well
And Dame
say
is a superstar, you said. And that
right.
didn't work. That's 2 superstars that was on the team that didn't work.
But once again, you got the wrong head coach there. You got Doc motherfucking Rivers. What he know about superstars? You got 1 championship out of your whole basketball career and coaching career. You cannot get the Clippers to the finals. And you had superstars.
Yeah.
Is that line? I mean,
Yeah, they didn't. They definitely didn't. They
right,
underachieved with the Clippers.
right. You got 1 championship with Boston. Boston, you should have got 3. That team was that loaded. So yeah, once again, Doc Rivers. No, when they hired Doc Rivers, I told Dennis Holmes, we said it on Talk Your Ears. They just fucked up.
So what if you could get another player that won't cost you as much as Giannis? I get everything you're saying about Giannis, but I'm just throwing another situation out there for you to look at. What if you can get a player that won't cost you as much as Giannis, but still could be impactful?
Who do what Giannis do? Name,
What you mean?
name another player to do the same thing that Giannis do.
No, I hear what you're saying, but I'm just looking at like what all Minnesota's gonna have to give up.
I mean,
But what I'm saying is, what if you can get another impactful player without giving up as much as you would have to get Giannis?
I understand that, but you gotta understand. If I'm the owner, if I'm just trying to sell tickets or I'm trying to get to the chip and win.
What you mean, Minnesota?
Yeah,
Minnesota trying to win, but the player
Okay.
I'm talking about can help you win.
What
But
player?
it may not cost you as much as Giannis would.
Right. Name the player that you think I to get for cheaper
Than Giannis. That still would be impactful and help the Minnesota Timberwolves.
More definitely.
I'm just thinking like, what if you can go and add like a Paul George? Paul George wouldn't cost as much as Giannis. I don't think they would. I think the Sixers will be looking to move Paul George. Because you gonna, if you the Sixers, you catching hell to try to move Embiid. So you look at Paul George, who just came back from suspension and showing you he just had 40 the other night, and he's showing you he still can hoop. But the Sixers are moving in a direction with Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and whoever they get in the draft. Because they just traded McCain to OKC because of how good VJ Edgecombe has been.
But you don't know what Paul George you would get. That the problem with Paul George.
I mean, you'll still get a solid and I don't think they'll step on each other's toes. I don't think Paul George will step on Ant-Man toes. I don't think Ant-Man toes, and they both play wing. So you get two scorers and two defenders at the wing position.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But once again,
and like I said, I don't think it's gonna cost you quite as much to get Paul George as it would to get Giannis.
But
and you keep some of them assets.
We gotta look at it. What Paul George you would get? Will you get the LA Clippers Paul George, or will you go back to his roots, the Pacers Paul George?
Well, you're not getting the Pacers Paul George right now, but the Paul George that's playing right now in Philly is a great second option. He just had 40. Now, let me look up his stats and see what because he did have that served that suspension where he missed a lot of time. He got caught with them PEDs.
Right.
But
shout out to Philly.
Because Paul George this season, still averaging 18, 5, and 4.
And the problem to me, now I want y'all to tell me if I'm wrong for thinking like this.
Paul George probably he might try to get back to the West Coast of anything though.
Right. Paul George don't show up in the playoffs. To me. Now tell me if I'm wrong or not.
To some degree, he don't. If he not injured.
Right.
I mean, everybody getting injured now. Hell, even Giannis is dealing with injury.
We know Giannis show up in the playoffs. We know that. Do you go with somebody who you know, or do you go with somebody who you don't know? Paul George, I don't know. I cannot count on you in the playoffs. Giannis, I could count on in the playoffs. He done it.
Yeah.
Paul George had not done it since the Clippers and Indiana.
What is Giannis stats this year? He up there.
So, again, do I go with somebody who I know that will show the fuck up in the playoffs, Giannis? Or do I trust somebody that don't show up in the playoffs, Paul George?
Career playoff. I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, I give Paul George 150 million. I expect you to show up.
So Paul George in the playoffs, in his career, he's averaged 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists in the
for
playoffs in his career.
For every team.
No. That's just for the career, his career average.
Right.
So every team he's been in the playoffs with, he's averaged 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists throughout his career overall in the playoffs.
So, okay, look at how much.
Because he balled in the playoffs in Indiana. He
Right.
hooped in OKC.
Right.
And, of course, he had injuries. He had that ugly injury where he,
Right.
we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah,
But
that was
and
nasty.
he was injured on and off with the Clippers. We
Right.
all know that. Him and Kawhi.
Right.
Oh, Giannis playoff. Yeah, Giannis is up there.
So, to me, yeah, I try and go to the finals. Give me Giannis.
So Giannis in his playoff career has averaged 27, 12, and 5.
Had done it. Got the chip. Paul George had not even sniffed the court to get the chip.
Yeah, you could get Giannis. I mean, Giannis will work, but the only thing I'm saying is, if you get Giannis in Milwaukee, if you get Giannis in Minnesota, like what else is gonna be left to help y'all along the way?
Those veteran players. You reach out to veteran players. You reach out to who you think that still to play a little bit.
I don't know. That's gonna be tough.
If
if you get rid of, let's just say you move. Okay, Julius Randle's gone. Okay. You said Rudy Gobert gone.
Gone.
Dante DiVincenzo
gone.
You keep Nas Reed.
Yeah.
All right. So who your point gonna be?
That's why I say Anthony Edwards to be the point too.
Now who your two gonna be? McDaniels?
Yeah.
Jalen McDaniels?
Yeah.
And then the 3 is gonna be.
Or they could Milwaukee could trade Turner too in that deal to Minnesota.
So Giannis and Miles Turner go to Minnesota in return for who?
Rudy Gobert, their defensive player that you had not had since when?
But once again, how would that benefit Milwaukee in a rebuild? Because rebuilding, you're not taking on a big contract like Rudy Gobert unless you're getting a first round pick attached to it.
Right. I'm trying to make Milwaukee that sucker.
Okay, I know you're trying to make them that sucker, but what I mean,
I'm trying to make Milwaukee that sucker. if you say, yeah, you would take this player, that player, and that player on mine, and I'm the owner of Minnesota, and I try to get Giannis from you and Turner.
You get me a third team. You get me a third team involved that can give us some more picks or players, young players. Then we'll have a real sit down. But me moving Miles Turner to get Rudy Gobert back in a rebuilding mode, that's not going. I mean, that ain't that. If I'm Minnesota, if I'm Milwaukee, I'm looking at that like that don't move the needle to me. I'm giving you a superstar player and Miles Turner, and you giving me back Rudy Gobert, and we about to be in a full-blown rebuild.
But either way it goes, you're going to lose. If you let Giannis walk, let's just say Giannis go to Minnesota, you will not get nothing anyway.
What you mean walk? In free agency?
In free agent.
But he's not a free agent.
But he could say, you know what? I don't want to be here.
And he can't just walk over to Minnesota like that, because Minnesota's not gonna have a cap with all those guys on the books to just sign him.
But what I'm saying, if Giannis come out, let's just say Giannis come out July the 17th, my birthday, and say I want to play in Minnesota. Milwaukee loses all the leverage. They don't got no leverage no more.
Let me see, when his contract officially, how many years he officially got left on his contract. So Giannis has a player option for 2027-28 season.
Right. But they talk about
62 points.
They came out and saying a while back, if he don't sign the extension, we will trade him.
Right.
If I ain't Giannis, I'll be like, hey, I will tell the whole world, I'm going to play Minnesota. And that way, Milwaukee lose all leverage. If he come out and say where he want to play at.
Well, he already mentioned the Knicks.
But
allegedly mentioned the Knicks.
Right. Do you trust Minnesota or do you trust New York Knicks to get to the chip?
Talking about with Giannis?
With Giannis.
I don't know.
I would trust Minnesota before I trust the New York Knicks.
With Giannis?
With Giannis.
To get to the NBA Finals.
To get to the NBA Finals.
To go through San Antonio and OKC.
Yep. The San Antonio, we playing chess. We're not playing Tetris. If I'm Minnesota, I'm playing chess now.
I mean, San Antonio ain't no pushover. San Antonio
they're not no pushover, but I don't think they got the right tools to deal with somebody like Giannis and Anthony Edwards at the same time.
Bro, I don't know. Because what if San Antonio get in the mix and say, look, we'll give you a better offer than what Minnesota gonna give you.
But if Giannis already came out and said where he want to go, the Bucks don't got no choice but to send him to Minnesota.
But I mean, if San Antonio get in the mix and he be like, man, I wouldn't mind playing there, then what?
Then it'd be the David Robinson and Tim Duncan all over again, and it will mess up the rest. I guarantee it.
Because what the hell I was going to look up?
It would be it would be three teams to maybe take down San Antonio.
Because San Antonio is the 2 seed right now.
Right. You will have Houston to take them down. You will have Oklahoma.
Houston to take who down?
Is that what happened?
You think Houston can beat San Antonio this season in a 7-game series? Yep. I don't see it.
I do.
I don't see Houston. Houston got issues, bro. Houston don't have a real point guard.
They might not got a real point guard, but the other day, the point guard the white dude who that dude had, he caught
Reed
fire.
Shepard. He
Yep,
not.
he caught.
I don't think Houston beat San Antonio in a 7-game series, even with KD.
I mean, but how you cannot beat OKC.
San Antonio has beaten OKC. That's one of the teams that has given OKC problems. I think they beat OKC like 3 times this year.
I mean, to me, if you keep on throwing bodies at Wemby, I don't think he can handle that.
Ain't too many bodies you can throw at Wemby. He's 7'5" or something
And
like that.
weigh a butt 25. Second weight. Make that make sense.
Victor is damn. They ain't got his height. Victor is 7'4".
We forget about the Nuggets.
He's 7'4",
And
with a
weigh a butt.
wingspan of low. I don't know how shit his wing. He's 7'4". I can't even tell you how long his wingspan is.
And he weigh a butt 25. Second weight.
But you can't do nothing with him. Like
But,
shit. He don't. He don't. It's not like he can only score the ball in the paint. Like he can shoot the 3 ball from
right.
the logo. So
But
he can score at all 3 levels. He can shoot the 3 ball. He got a mid range. He can run the flow. He can handle the ball. He can score in the paint, and he'll knock down free throw shooter. So it ain't really too many people you could throw at him to get him off his game because he can shoot the ball. Only thing you can hope for is he have a bad shooting night. So when you do get physical with him and he starts to shoot from the perimeter, he off. But like it ain't too many people that you can just put out on the perimeter on a 7'4" guy who can dribble the ball and got a wingspan of I don't know, Lord knows how long.
yeah,
And that's gonna be tough. I mean, it's easy to say it, but that's gonna be tough to do.
it's gonna be tough. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but you put together a super team like Minnesota with Giannis and Anthony Edwards, and somehow you get Turner. Shit.
Well, I wouldn't even consider Miles Turner a player that you include in a super team, but
That'd be the Chris Boss. You see
Miles
what I'm saying?
Turner,
Yeah.
no, Miles
He
Turner, no,
He hear me out. He did shoot the 3. What Chris Boss did. He did play power forward or center.
He don't got Chris
Bosh.
Bosh. He don't got Chris Bosh footwork.
But he can get it. That's what I'm
No, he
saying.
can't. He can't get it. If he ain't got it now, he ain't got it.
But it's how teams use you though.
OG said he got an upset. Phoenix beat the Spurs.
Ooh.
In a playoff series.
Ooh.
I think so.
That's what he talking about. Just a regular talking about the regular season game to finish the season or in the series, playoff series.
I think if y'all talking about a series, OG, what you talking about, a series or regular game? I think he said series. We'll see.
If that would happen.
I mean, I don't.
To me,
I still interesting, but I don't think.
To me, if I'm Minnesota, I try and get Giannis. I just saying.
Because right now, Phoenix is a 7 seed, so they're a play-in team. So they would have to play. So it's 7 and 8 play, 9 and 10 play. So they will be playing the LA Clippers. And the winner of that game will get the 7 seed, and the loser of that game will play the winner of the 9 and 10 seed, which is Portland and Golden State. So Steph is back.
If I'm Minnesota, I try my best to get Giannis. Huh? That's just me though. You would have 2 superstars.
Yeah.
Well, really 3. The Giannis to do everything that Wemby do.
So you had Giannis and Ant-Man, them be your only 2 superstars.
And you get other veteran
playoffs first round.
Oh,
Oh, in the
he's
first, if to get the Spurs in the first round, they would have to lock in that 7 seed because the Spurs are 2 seed right now. So Phoenix will have to finish the season as that 7 seed, but that means they will have to play that play-in game and win to secure that 7 seed. So they will be playing because I think it's the 7, 8 play, then 9 and 10 play. So the 7 and 8, which is Phoenix and the LA Clippers, will play. The winner of that game will get the 7 seed. The loser of that game will play the winner of the 9 and 10 seed, which is Portland and Golden State. And the winner of that game will get the 8 seed, and then that'll be the playoffs. That'll be the playoffs 1 through 8. So they will have to lock in that set, finish that season with the 7 seed to get the Spurs in the first round.
but what's the next topic?
It's the Lakers. Are they done without Luka and Austin Reaves? Because Austin Reaves got a grade 2 oblique injury, and Luka Doncic got a grade 2 hamstring. So 4 to 6 weeks is the recovery time for both of them. Expected recovery time for both of them. But you know they gonna get them round the clock treatment to try to have them ready.
What?
You know
Let me
for round one.
let me say this. At LeBron in his career right now, do he make players better?
No, LeBron. He's not carrying a team, and he ain't making nobody better right now.
Okay, so
In my opinion.
me too. That's my opinion. He don't make nobody better right now. You 41 years old. You in your 40s. Who
Right.
you make better? His son?
No. Respectfully, no.
Who you make better on the Lakers? So,
Respectfully, nobody right now.
so the Lakers, yeah, you got to the playoff, but time you get there, they finna drop you like a bad habit.
Yeah,
Don't
they
let,
done, bro.
don't let them match up with the Nuggets or Minnesota, Houston, or somebody like that. They done.
They done with whoever they match up with, pretty much.
Right. They
Because the
done
Lakers are
done.
the 3 seed right now,
Right. They
and
done.
they not catching the Spurs for the 2 seed. And they actually tied with the Nuggets for the 4 seed because they could finish. They tied with the Nuggets. They got the 3 seed because of course, tiebreaker or whatever. But they
Right.
got the same exact record as the Nuggets, 50-28. And the Houston Rockets are a game behind both the Lakers and the Nuggets.
Yeah, I don't see the Lakers doing that.
So they could finish the season anywhere between 3 and 5
Right.
or 3 and 6,
And,
possibly.
and get swept in the first round.
So if the playoffs started today, they would have Minnesota.
Ooh. Bye Lakers.
And that's with no Austin Reaves, no Luka Doncic in the first round.
Right.
So
And
who would
that
they starting 5 be
you
at
might
the point?
well say everybody everybody on the sideline.
So DeAndre Ayton will be at the 5, LeBron will be at the 4, Hachimura be at the 3. Who they gonna have at the 2? Because you're 1 and 2 out.
Right.
So who they gonna play at the 2? No Gabe Vincent. He can't play your point because he's gone.
He with the Hawks.
Yeah. So who they gonna
So
put at the 2? Dalton Connect? They gonna
yeah,
run Dalton Connect at the 2?
well,
They
yeah,
run and
over.
Marcus Smart be at the 1.
You might well say LeBron James. This is his last tour.
So,
This his you might well gonna retire right now, player. It
so they
should
gonna put
say it. It should say next week. Breaking news: LeBron James just retired from the NBA.
Marcus Smart at the 1, Dalton Connect at the 2, Hachimura at the 3, LeBron at the 4, and DeAndre Ayton at the 5. Then coming off the bench, you're gonna have Bronny James, Vanderbilt, and who else?
Security.
Let's see.
Le, LeBron James hairline.
Man, it's They done, bro. They done.
You you done.
That's the worst thing that could have happened to the Lakers.
Right.
It was bad if one of them was gonna be hurt, but you got
But
both of them
both
out.
of them,
Yeah,
you done that.
yeah. You done. You.
You have y'all ever cooked a overcooked steak? Have y'all
Man,
cooked that the Lakers, they overcooked now.
so they gonna bring Jackson Hayes off the bench.
Who?
They gonna bring Jackson Hayes. He coming off the bench. They gonna bring Luke Kennard off the bench. Those gonna be the guys coming off the bench. Bronny is gonna get extended minutes in the playoffs.
He said Lakers in trouble without Luka and AR-15.
Yeah.
We talking about Bronny can't even get regular season minutes. Now this motherfucker gonna get extended playoff minutes, Ron.
What?
You can't make this shit up.
You can't make
You
it up?
cannot. You can't make it up, Ron. He's struggling to see. I mean, we talking about a guy that bouncing back and forth between the G League and the Lakers, and he only in the game when they up big or they down big.
What?
So,
You
and now
can't
we
make
talking about extending his minutes in the playoffs.
you can't make this shit up.
You really can't. You
That
just can't, bro.
yeah, it should say again. Next week it should say breaking news. LeBron James and his son just retired from the NBA.
Well, it's over. The Lakers right now 3 seeded. Like I said, they could finish anywhere between 3 and 6 seed because they tied with the Nuggets right now for they got the same record. Then you got Houston in there, and then Minnesota. But if the playoffs started today, they will be playing the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round.
And Minnesota running freak now.
Ant-Man is coming back.
Ant-Man will put up 40.
So you think that'll be a Minnesota win that in what 5 games?
Yep. I don't see nobody on the Lakers to stick with Ant-Man. I don't see it.
It's gonna be ugly, man. I think it's gonna be ugly.
Remember the old army movies back in the day, back in the 70s?
Mm-hmm.
When the army people give up and they had the white flag, that's gonna be LeBron James.
They throwing the towel in.
Right.
They waving the flag.
What Apollo Creed manager said in the watching movie?
Throwing the damn towel.
Right. That's
They're throwing the damn towel.
That's gonna be the Lakers.
Somebody had spit flying, sweat.
Right.
Throw in the damn towel.
Right. That's gonna be the Lakers.
Oh man.
I don't see the Lakers doing nothing. I don't see it. Not in 3 weeks?
And then after the season, LeBron's gone.
Right. LeBron gone. It's rumor now LeBron and Shaq, they own the Las Vegas team. And a team finna go to Las Vegas.
Yeah, a team is going to Vegas and Seattle.
Right. So you might have well said LeBron gone. LeBron and Shaq finna be in the front office or that team in Vegas.
But what does he play next year? Because I heard Golden State is trying to go after.
He don't need to.
So this need to be his last season.
This need to be LeBron James last season right here. The same way you came in, the same way you go out.
And if he come back, he going to take a big ass pay cut.
Right.
To come back.
And I don't think he will do that.
Because I think they're going to re-up Austin Reaves.
Yep.
He opted out of his player option, so they're going to, usually you do that for more money. So,
right. They're going to give Austin Reaves the money, and they're going to find another who they think will be a superstar.
They got one. They got Luka.
But most time they really trying to get a big man. That's why I say young.
Well, they gonna need one because Ayton is a free agent too. He only signed a
But
1 year deal
that's why I say Giannis
to the Lakers.
to the Lakers. If he don't go to Minnesota and this right up the Lakers' alley, they love to get big mans.
But I'm saying, who are the Lakers trading to get Giannis though? Because Giannis, remember,
Everybody,
he got a player option for 2027,
everybody and their
28.
mama. Everybody and their mama. I
But does it make
guarantee.
sense for Milwaukee? Is what I'm saying.
Hey,
Dalton Connect doesn't make sense for Milwaukee
hey,
unless
that's
they
so
already got a team. But as far as rebuilding, Dalton Connect does nothing
right.
for
But
Milwaukee.
but once again, the Lakers.
Hachimura does nothing.
But the Lakers, look what they did to Dallas about Luka. Look, that trade got the GM from Dallas Mavericks fired.
No, you know what got that? You know what got the GM from Dallas Mavs fired?
What?
I don't think it's the trade as much as people think. I think what got Nico Harrison fired in Dallas is the fact that everybody got hurt. Because if they was that damn pissed about Luka being, well, first of all, let's just go ahead and call it what it is. When you just don't wake up in the middle of the night out of your sleep and say I'm about to trade Luka Doncic, you got to
What?
run that by ownership.
But
Ownership got to sign off on it. You just don't take that upon yourself to trade a player like Luka Doncic in the middle of the night.
but
Ownership had to know about that, sign off on it, and okay it.
but
That's one. Two, when they traded Luka, they didn't even fire Nico Harrison right away. They didn't
what?
fire him until the next season.
But
So
you
they
know
wanted
what
to
happened?
wait and see what that team would be like. And
You know
everybody got hurt. And
you know
on
what
paper,
happened?
that still, even after they traded Luka, on paper, that still was a playoff team. It's just that
Right,
everybody got hurt. And then they fired Nico Harrison. So they was gonna wait and see, did it work? They wasn't pissed. They probably was pissed that they traded Luka, but they wasn't pissed to the point where they fired Nico Harrison right after he did it. They
you,
waited to see what would come from that team because on paper they still had a playoff team. It
right.
wasn't until everybody got hurt that they fired Nico Harrison. It didn't work.
You
I
know what?
guarantee you, had them players not got hurt and they made the playoffs, Nico Harrison would still have his job.
You know what put the nail in the coffin? What older people say?
What?
When they told the new owner of the Dallas Mavericks she cannot put no casinos around there. And she was pissed off. And she was like, oh, y'all tell me no? Okay, I finna trade your franchise player. That what got him fight. That what got the GM fight. When they told the new owner, you cannot put no casinos around here. Shout out to my sister, the chocolate girl, the chocolate writer,
So
Sharon.
what they was trying to do, move the Dallas Mavs?
No, she wanted to put, she wanted to move them, but they were like, no. Then she said,
Move them.
what if I put casinos around here?
She wanted to move the Mavs to Vegas.
Vegas. And
But
they
now that ain't gonna happen because Vegas gonna get their own team and
right,
as an expansion team.
right. And
So her
then
plan didn't work.
their plan A. Plan B, she wanted to put casinos around there. And they told her you can't do that. That was plan B, and she got
Right.
pissed off. And plan C was like, shit, I don't give a fuck. I finna trade the franchise player to the Lakers. I don't care.
But none of that would have never happened had the owner Mark Cuban
What?
had a not sold majority of his stake of the team.
What?
That wouldn't have happened.
And Mark,
He's not even mad. He's not even mad about selling his stake of the team because I think
what?
he still got a percentage of the team. I think it's like 20-some%, but it
Right.
ain't enough to have majority say so. I
Right.
think he's just mad about who he sold it to rather than
Right.
selling it.
He
Because
mad
listen, Ron,
about, he said I would have never traded Luka to the Lakers. He said it.
I don't think he would have traded Luka at all.
Right. And that day, It was a Tuesday that came out, and it said breaking news: Dallas Mavericks trading Luka to the Lakers for AD and everybody else, and
Yeah.
me and
So
Dennis Holmes. It said breaking news, and me and Dennis Holmes and Sharon, the chocolate rider, we put A, B, and C all together on that trade because the new owner of the Dallas Mavericks, she wanted to move that team. They told her no. She wanted to put casinos around there, and they told her no. And she's her
yeah,
own give a fuck.
because I knew he still had 20-some%. I didn't know the exact
Mm-hmm.
number. He still owns 27% of the
Mm-hmm.
team. So he sold 73% of the team
Mm-hmm.
for $3.5 billion. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Ron, I don't know about nobody else, but I don't give a fuck what decisions you make if I done made $3.5 billion off selling 73% of the team and I still own 27%. So I'm still making something off the team. It's
You
just not
mentioned
majority.
right.
But
You know I'm
three and a
angry,
half,
but
we not talking about 3.5 M's, Ron. We talking about 3.5 B's. I don't give a
right,
fuck what you do.
right.
You do what you want to do. I got
You
three
do
and a
what
half
you
billion.
want. Hey, for the rest of my life, money gonna be coming in to me and my grandkids and my
Right.
great great grandkids.
And I made 3.5 billion.
Right,
And I'm still making something off the team.
right,
Cause I still got 27% in ownership in the team.
right. So
So
that the rumor. That what happened. And she got mad and she was like, I finna trade the face of the franchise to the Lakers.
so
Because
I mean I understand all that because now it makes sense why when they traded Luka, they didn't fire Nico Harrison immediately.
right.
Because when they traded Luka, everybody was still saying it was a crazy trade, but
Mm-hmm.
looking at the team that they still had, it still was a playoff team.
Right,
And then everybody got hurt. AD got hurt. Then you had Kyrie down. You had Daniel Gafford down. You had Derek Lively down. And then I think somebody else ended up
right.
missing a little bit of time too.
So
So you had a playoff team on paper. It's just the
right.
fact that everybody got hurt. A lot of people got hurt.
So the crazy part, they did not talk to other teams. That's the
Right. I
crazy part.
guarantee you, I guarantee you, if that team had stayed for the most part healthy and made the playoffs, Nico
They,
Harrison would still have his job.
right. That's the
But
crazy part.
that's what I'm saying. That's why
They
I don't see why, Nico is just the scapegoat for all this stuff.
right.
That's
Nico
it.
there was the face.
He was the face of the fallout.
Right. He the face to be that sucker. Remember,
He
we already talked about you got to have a sucker.
and they made him the sucker in the deal.
Right. So now everybody hated him instead of everybody hated the new owner
The
of the
owners.
Dallas Mavericks.
Because there's no way in the hell you could trade Luka without ownership signing off and okaying it.
Right.
I don't care if I am the GM and I want to trade a player like Luka. That is not gonna. I'm not gonna just trade Luka without ownership knowing about. Ownership didn't
Right.
find out the way we found out on social
Right.
media and ESPN. They had
Right.
to already know, okay,
They
it, and sign off on it.
right. They already said, okay, we're
Right.
gonna sign off, we're gonna send Luka to the Lakers. Bam. And the NBA said, get this. Y'all did that, we're gonna give y'all the top five or top two player in the NBA. And that's who they got now.
Yeah, they got the #1 pick and they took
Right,
Cooper Flag.
right. So now you traded one face of the franchise for another face of the franchise.
And they got rid of AD. AD over
Right,
there in Washington now.
right,
So the guy
yeah,
that you traded Luka for ain't even there no more.
right. So now we changed his name from AD to Street Clothes. No, he
And
don't
see,
play. When do AD play?
Shit, he played when everybody ain't looking.
Right. This man been playing hide your seat forever.
He played when we ain't looking.
Right.
Then you look at the stat sheet and you see he had 25 and 12 and
Right.
2
They're
blocks or
like,
whatever when we ain't looking. But then when we turn on and look,
right.
it motherfucker got a jogging suit on, Ron.
Right. They're like, this motherfucker got 20 and 12. But who
Ain't
that
nobody
player?
see it.
Right.
Ain't nobody see it. But when we tuning in to see, they put the camera on, he in fucking got a jogging suit on, Ron.
Right. This motherfucker, he more known about TV shows now than playing basketball.
Yeah, because he got a new I think it's a prank show. Somebody in the
Right.
comments, I can't hardly see.
That's what he known for now. TV shows. He not known for basketball no more. This motherfucker on the sideline.
They say LeBron is taking a huge pay cut.
Did you go
I
there?
can't. I don't know. I can't see the other part of it, but I know that's like that's what it. My screen too small to see.
It said LeBron taking a huge pay cut. Whatever team to play for. I think LeBron going back home to Cleveland.
You think you going to Cleveland?
Yeah. He would go to Cleveland and retire. Then one day retire, then he would go right to Las Vegas. That's what I think.
So I'm saying you think he's gonna go and play a season in Cleveland, then retire
No.
after the season? He
No.
just gonna go sign a 1-day contract to retire as a Cleveland Cavs?
Yep. Then right after he would shoot right to Las Vegas.
So there's gonna be no farewell
Nope.
for
And
LeBron. No,
he would take his son with him. Watch. To Las Vegas.
to do what?
To play basketball.
To work in the front office?
I guess. But that's what's gonna happen. Watch.
Man, I bet Las Vegas said, "Oh man, this motherfucker here, man.
Yeah.
This motherfucker here, man."
They said because it came out, Shaq and LeBron, they the owners or part owners or something like that. They want that team to come to Vegas. And the
But how
NBA,
can But I'm saying, how can Braun be ownership in a team and still playing?
he won't be
Can you
playing
do?
no more. After his career over, that's why I said he going to the Cavs. He going to take that 1 day and retire with the Cavs.
That's what I'm saying. After this season, you think he's gonna sign a 1-day contract with the Cavs and that's gonna be it? So he's
That's
not.
going to be
He's retiring this offseason
this offseason.
with no farewell tour
This
next
is
year.
the farewell tour.
Well, I'm talking about like you know how they gave D Wade
Kobe, yeah.
yeah, they didn't do that for LeBron this year.
Because don't nobody like LeBron like that, dog.
They
They
didn't
don't
make no
like
announcement about a farewell tour.
right.
Is what I'm saying.
He gonna make his announcement when he get cut and ESPN be like where he gonna go.
You know how much money that he gonna make off a farewell tour,
Yeah,
and whatever team he's on gonna make.
yeah.
So that's what I'm
But
saying. Why would they not do that?
because what else he got in the tank? You're not gonna get to no chip. You can't be Minnesota. You can't be
Even if
the
he don't get to the chip, people still gonna pay shitloads of money to see him one last time.
and that's why he going to the Cavs.
Cause you know, like certain teams, they only play once. Like when he was in LA, they only come to Atlanta once, and then
Right,
Atlanta go to LA once. So it's
right,
not like they playing, Golden State or
right,
Phoenix, three, four times.
right.
Like
That's
we play the
why
Magic 4 times in our division.
he gonna go home to the Cavs, sign that 1 day. That means everybody gonna come out and see him for the last time. After that, after he retire, he gonna shoot to Las Vegas, and Shaq gonna be there too. What? Just watch.
Yeah, I mean,
He
we'll
gonna
see, but I
retire.
think I think he gonna do a farewell tour. That's just me. I think that's a
Who
lot of money that they gonna make him and
who's
whatever team
gonna
he's on.
who's gonna take time out and build a team for a 41-year-old?
No. I'm not saying they're gonna build a team for him. I'm saying he's going somewhere that's already a contender,
But
and
who
they're gonna
want?
have
But who
he's gonna
want
take a
the?
pay cut.
But on what team?
He's
I
gonna have to take a pay cut.
yeah,
A contending team is going. He's gonna have to take a pay cut with a contender because a contender usually already got so much money tied up into the roster that they don't have tons of cap space.
and
You know, he's gonna take a pay cut to
the
go with a contender. He's not going to no team that's not a contender at 41 years old.
right. But the best team is the Cavs in the East. That's the best team he's going. I don't see New York Knicks. No, I don't see the Pacers. No, he going back home. That's what I see. Like he won that championship for the Cavs. This is for you. Yeah, that's what he gonna do. Cleveland, I'm coming back. What? He gonna say breaking news. Soon they get felt or whatever. It's gonna be like 2 weeks later. It might be on my wife's birthday, April the 17th. Definitely get felt. And he
Once they
gonna
get
go. He
once
gonna
they get
go home.
bounced, he going. You saying he after this season? Once they get bounced after this season, he gonna sign a 1-day contract to go back to Cleveland, then retire.
Then retire. Then
I
he
don't
gonna
know, bro. It's hard for me to see him retiring before he has a farewell tour.
this is the farewell.
No, I'm saying they didn't make no announcement because they would have made bukus of footage off of this shit. They would have made his production company would have been executive producing shit. You know,
Right.
it would have been, it would have been an announcement. And all the NBA would have made so much money in general because all the ticket sales would have went up, all the merch would have went up. They
But
would have got more prime time. They would have rolled out
right.
the red carpet for a
But
farewell tour if he had an announcement.
but now you finna see LeBron in Las Vegas or whatever that basketball team is.
I don't
That's
know
how
if he
you
gonna get.
gonna see LeBron.
I don't know if he gonna get in there.
They already said he got it. Him and Shaq got it.
No, I don't think him and Shaq got the team. They
I
just
think
voted on it. They just voted on it last week.
it
Approved
came
the
out.
approved.
It came out. Shaq and LeBron, they got the team.
I don't
That's
think they
what
got
I
the.
think.
I don't think they got it. Now they may be talking about going into um getting it, but I don't think they got it already. They
Mm.
just made the announcement last week about the expansion of the two teams, to Vegas and Seattle. Hold on, let me see.
But I'll be right back. All right.
All right, I don't think they. I'm gonna look it up and see right here. Um, no, it says here. It says LeBron James is not the owner of the new Las Vegas NBA team. As of March 2026, he officially ruled out a bid for a Vegas expansion team after his primary partner, Fenway Sports Group, decided against purchasing the bid due to the projected $8 to $10 billion franchise fees. So LeBron is backed out of the as of right now, LeBron has backed out of um potential ownership in the new expansion NBA team in Las Vegas. It says reversal of ambition. Despite previously stating I want the team in Vegas, James announced he is not at all interested in joining the ownership race for the potential expansion team. Partner withdrawal, which is the Fenway Sports Group with LeBron James, is a partner, declined to pursue the team, making a solo bid by James unlikely. So his business, the group that he's in business with backed out. So now it's gonna be more than likely that LeBron James is not gonna pursue the team by himself since the group backed out. The NBA is still expected to move forward with plans for expansion teams in Las Vegas and Seattle, which will potentially come in 2028, 2029. But LeBron James is not currently attached to the Las Vegas bid. While LeBron James has expressed long interest in owning an NBA team, he is not involved in the current Las Vegas expansion bid. So he's not in the mix with his with his business, the sports group, Fenway Sports Group. They backed out, so more than likely LeBron is not going to pursue it solo. So he's not in on the Las Vegas, the NBA team that's expanding to Las Vegas. He's not in on that. So that's what it said. He ain't in on it.
All right. But it's gonna be somebody else trying to buy that team besides Shaq. Trust me.
Yeah, they gonna have people to bid to get the team,
Right.
But from this reading here, LeBron and the Fenway Sports Group, which is his business partner group, they backed out because they didn't, $8 to $10 billion in franchise fees. So they backed out, which means that LeBron more than likely is not going to pursue it solo.
What I do know, Shaq been trying to buy a team for years, decades. Shaq wanted to buy the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta Hawks. That's what I do know for a fact. He went up to Arthur Blank himself and said, Arthur Blank, I want to have a meeting with you. And Arthur Blank was like, no, I'm not finna sell the team. Then he went to the Hawks president at the time. This was maybe 5 years ago. And told them, I want to buy the Hawks. And they were like, no. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, it says Shaq is still interested in the purchase of the new of the new Las Vegas team.
Right.
So Shaq is still in and still want it.
So it's
gonna be the other ones.
It's gonna be somebody else with him. No, he said on his podcast.
He said he's gonna be from his reading. It say he's gonna be in a group, but he's gonna be the head of the group.
Right. But on his podcast, he said he's gonna put the money up, but he's gonna get good people to do everyday stuff for the team and be in the front office. He said that on his podcast. He said he's just gonna be behind the scenes. He's gonna put people in place to run the team at everyday stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy. But real quick before we get out of here, Ron, let me ask you: the Dallas Cowboys, they got 2 first-round picks. They got the 12th pick and the 20th pick. They got a situation with George Pickens now. Do they trade Pickens or do they keep him?
I would keep him. And that's why. Because if you trade George Pickens, you never had CD Lamb.
Yeah, but you got 2 first-round picks, so you can get a receiver.
But do you know that would be better than George Pickens?
That's what you don't know. But
Right. You
what you can't, but what you do know is you will still have a good offense.
right. But you will have a better offense with both of them.
But what about if you do this? What if you get to the situation where it's too much, it's a back and forth with signing Pickens, and then you might have to trade Pickens like you did Parsons. Then what?
But then trade
Cause
them then.
don't cause don't Michael Parsons and George Pickens share the same agent?
I think so. But
Yeah.
I think me, I don't think that will happen. I think George Pickens finally showing everybody what he all about in Dallas. Trust me, I know everything about George Pickens. Is he a good wide receiver? Yes. Do he fit what Dallas do? Yes. Do he take off some of the from CD Lamb? Yes. Dallas is just like Philly. What I mean by that, Philly got two good wide receivers, just like Dallas do, just like the Rams do, just like who else? Minnesota do.
Are they
So
are they still are they still trying to get Max Crosby?
who Dallas?
Yeah. Are they still in on Max Crosby?
I I don't think they in on the Mets Cosby. If they would, well, let me say this.
But what if you can trade George Pickens for Max Crosby and still keep the 2 first-round picks, or keep at least one, or keep them both, and then just
Ooh,
use one of the first-round picks to get a receiver? Use the 12 pick to get a receiver. You'll have receivers there at 12.
but do you know what they bring to the table?
I
Like
mean, you don't know what the receivers a rookie gonna bring,
that
but you
what I
do
mean.
plug a you
Do,
but what I'm saying is you plug a big hole on defense that you were weak at, because you lost Parsons, and now you just replacing Parsons off the edge with Max Crosby, who you do know what you can get
then
something
you
from.
need then you need a safety. Then you
You got
need
two you got 2 first-round picks.
right. Okay, they just will make another hole in your offense. If you trade one of the best wide receivers to the Raiders for Max Cosby, trust me, I like both of them. If I'm the Raiders, I try my best to keep one of the top 5 or top 10 pass rushers here.
Oh, he definitely top 5. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
you probably can't name 5 better than Crosby. So
So
he's in the 5.
I would not want to send him to Dallas. What?
I mean, if you getting Pickens back, shit, they don't.
I mean, hey, to me, I would keep Max Cosby.
Raiders need receiver help. Cowboys need edge rushing help.
OG said he don't think Pickens playing for Dallas.
I
So
think
that's
he
what I'm
gonna.
saying. Like, I mean, did you hear that, Jay? What I was saying?
Huh?
Did you hear what I was saying?
Yeah, trade for Max Crosby.
Yeah. So that's a win-win for both.
Yeah, I can see
If
that.
you if you trade them straight up, you see what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah.
Because Dallas will still keep 2 first-round picks, the
I
Yeah,
mean,
12th and the
I think
20th
they
pick.
want to keep him.
what
I
the
think they want to keep.
Raiders,
I think they want to keep them 2 first-round picks.
been doing in free agent, I think they building that defense into legit.
They definitely need a wide receiver over there, though.
That
That's what I'm saying. So that's
what?
a win-win for both. Dallas gets
What?
an edge rusher that they replace what they lost in Michael Parsons. That's gonna be better than an edge rusher that they're gonna get in the first round. The only thing is hopefully nothing don't come from the medicals like it did with Baltimore.
I think that just was bullshit right there. I don't think nothing wrong with him.
Which I think it was kind of some bullshit too, Ron.
I think
Mhm.
Baltimore there was like, fuck it, we don't want them. We only gotta give up these 2 draft picks. I just get what his name from Cincinnati.
Trey
And just,
Henderson.
yeah, Trey Henson.
Uncle
That's what
Mark.
I think. I think the GM from Baltimore should have got fired.
I think the NFL should have made them still give up one of those picks.
Right. How you gonna back out on this contract that you already said you will do it? I don't understand that.
So you the Cowboys.
You would have Max Cosby and Trey Henderson on that defense.
I think they just threw that out there to try to save face, to make people say, oh, I see what they was trying to do.
I mean, but you still back out on it.
Because I'm trying to figure out how in the hell was they gonna take on Max Crosby contract, give Trey Henderson a contract, paying Roquan Smith, he's top whatever paid linebacker, he up there. He might be the highest paid or top 3. He ain't no lower than 3 as far as paid linebackers. Kyle Hamilton's one of the top paid safeties. And you paying Lamar Jackson. And didn't they just re-up Zay Flowers?
Yeah.
How the hell was you gonna fit all that in?
I don't think.
Say he don't want to play for Dallas.
I don't think
nobody wants to play for Dallas.
Oh, he don't. Oh, Max don't want to play for that. Okay, well, let's exit that out.
I don't think they would have kept somebody on that defense. I think they would have traded somebody to get somebody else.
Well, it wasn't gonna be Kyle Hamilton or Roquan Smith.
Why not? What Roquan done?
Roquan Smith, he wanted to tell you probably a top 5 linebacker.
But what he done? What you done for me lately?
I'm saying he's a top 5, probably arguably a top 5 linebacker.
Again, I like Roquan Smith. Played Georgia. I wanted Roquan Smith, but what you done for me lately?
That's what I'm saying. Top 5 lately.
Right, but what I'm saying, he been injured. For the past 2 years, he been injured. So what you done for me lately that you think you deserve this contract? You see what I'm saying?
Talking about Roquan Smith?
Yeah, he been injured.
He's still one of the top linebackers in the league, though.
He is, but you been injured for the last 2 years. And we paying you a lot of money. You know what we could do with all that money?
But so you saying you getting rid of Roquan Smith to bring on Max Crosby?
Why not?
I don't know.
Shoot, Max Crosby been hurt.
That's what I'm saying. So
that both you might have said that both the same player.
No, I'm keeping Smith.
You define another.
He's arguably a top 3 linebacker in the league.
Right.
Yeah, you define from Crosby off this. He didn't play. He didn't finish the season last year. Roquan nice.
I know that, but what I'm saying,
too young. I'm keeping the younger one.
I think they're about the same age.
Probably so.
I'm keeping Smith though. Like Crosby, I'm not trading Crosby for Crosby.
You define a middle linebacker, but it's hard to find a top pass rush.
Nah, I don't know about that. Linebackers in the NFL are like centers in the NBA. It's hard to find good ones. There's some out there, but they're not good. Like
yeah, Roquan top 5.
Yeah. Like every team, it's just like every team
in the playmaker. Roquan Smith is a playmaker.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about centers in the NBA. Every team got a center, but there's only a few that's really top tier. You know what I'm saying? Every team got linebackers, but there's only a few teams that have top tier linebackers. And the Baltimore Ravens got one.
Okay, look at the Jets.
What about
who that middle linebacker is?
Who is the middle linebacker? It was C.J. Mosley. Who is the middle linebacker?
And C.J. Mosley came from Baltimore.
I'm
Yeah, I
finna
think
see who
CJ
do we.
Mosley's gone.
I
I don't know
Yeah,
think
who
he
they
retired.
linebacker is now.
yeah, he gone, but I don't know who the linebacker is. Demario Davis.
But what I'm saying,
Didn't
Baltimore,
he just sign there though?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that one. But what I do know, Baltimore, they make middle linebacker.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
just Demario Davis just signed there.
they had not made no pass rush. They make
The Jet,
middle linebacker.
the Jets don't have a linebacker. What I'm saying, a good linebacker is hard to find. Teams have linebackers just like teams in the NBA have centers, but a lot of teams in the NBA don't have like top tier
Smith came.
centers.
Roquan came from Chicago,
Georgia.
didn't
Yeah,
Right,
he got drafted by Chicago out of Georgia. Yeah.
right. And I'm on the Raekwon. Trust me, I like him and all that. But if you have not done nothing, if you stay injured for the past 2 years, how you helping me out on the field? That's what I'm trying to say. You stay injured.
Cause let me see what is his stats. Roquan Smith stats. What the hell is his stats?
I think it's preference. I'm keeping my linebacker over Crosby. Crosby, I don't think.
But Roquan Smith, this past season, he played 15 games. So he only missed 2 games this season.
Those 2 games matter, especially in that division. That
But they still
everybody in that division, everybody trying to get to the playoffs. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and
but
that
that division this year didn't really matter because Cleveland was down, Pittsburgh, then
will
Cincinnati.
win.
Uh, Cincinnati,
Cincinnati,
they lost. Cincinnati did what?
Cincinnati just don't got no defense, but they were winning on offense.
Joe Burrow missed time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll keep Roquan. I'm not getting rid of Roquan. That's shit. The way the middle linebacker play, but I don't know how they were gonna get all of that on the all that.
Me either.
I think they just said that shit to make people think that that's what they was trying to do to save face on backing out of the deal.
But I still will fire the GM. You stupid. The GM is stupid. One, you said you cannot get that trade, or you did not want to do the trade. You back out at the last minute. That let me know you don't know how to close a deal. And you've been taught with one of the best ever done it, Ozzy. If I'm Ozzy, I would call him, "Are you stupid motherfucker? I taught you better than this shit." I would
But
cuss
what?
out. I
But
would cuss out.
I probably wouldn't have. The fact that he was able to get the 2 first-round picks back and sign Trey Henderson, that would be enough to be like, okay, we're not gonna fire you because you did get us a DN and then you got us our 2 first-rounders back. So that's probably why he's not gonna get. Now, if he had a swung and missed, and you know the trade went through and something, or whatever happened after giving up 2 first-rounders, or you was forced to give back one of those first-rounders, then we would have a discussion about that. But
If
he was able to get Max, get the trade rescinded, get 2 first-round picks back, and then sign Trey Henderson from the division, Cincinnati Bengals.
if I'm the commissioner, I still would tell Baltimore, you gotta give up one of those first round draft picks.
And then
Therefore,
let the
making
Raiders
all
decide and let the Raiders decide which one they want.
yep, yep. Therefore, making up all this shit. Let the Raiders decide which one the first round picks they want. You want the first one or you want the last one? Now you showing everybody you don't know how to do business.
Do you want this
So,
year's first or you want next year's first?
right. You don't know how to do business. You don't know how to take care of business. So next year, you show people that you don't know how to do business. So why do business, Rich? That's what you showing everybody in the NFL. You showing all the GMs in the NFL. You don't know how to take care of business on your end.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So now it's gonna be even harder for they to trade for somebody, and that be the person who they trade for or the GM. You gonna be like, you know what? We don't want to fuck with y'all no more. But you don't know how to handle your business.
Yeah, I'll be out on that, bro. Um, until that happened, then you know he was able to get the 2 first rounders back and get him Trey Henderson. So
But
that's
now,
probably
how many teams gonna fuck with Baltimore since
well,
they've
we'll
been
see.
down?
Yeah, we'll see. Not many. If I had to guess, not many.
That's the problem now. You showing teams you don't know how to handle your business. You backed out at the last minute.
Yeah, that's true. That's gonna jeopardize
Right.
some
A lot
future
of business
dealings with
is
some
coming
some
their way
future
now.
dealings.
Right.
Yeah, some future dealings.
So now all these teams around the NFL, they're like, oh, we're not fucking with Baltimore. Remember, it's always going to be that one sucker that going to get the shit in on the stick, and they're going to be Baltimore. Karma is a bitch,
Yeah.
but I got to go, y'all. Y'all like and share the show,
Like, share, subscribe.
and
We'll be back next Monday, same time.
and
All
shout
right,
out
fellas.
to that young female that got killed on 404 day in Atlanta. Shout out to her family.
Yeah.
Y'all be careful out there.
Yeah. Our condolences.
Yeah, real talk. That young lady did not deserve that. And these young dudes that did that, you need to go and turn yourself in.
Yeah, if they ain't already caught. I don't know if they got caught or not, but you know, sad situation.
Right.
But yeah, man, we'll be back next week.
It said
Um,
that people cannot go out and have fun. You got to worry about these young YN motherfuckers.
shooting up the joint.
Right. They were supposed to bring a community Georgia together. Now you separate Georgia now. The people are afraid to come out now. People are afraid to come out because they don't know what will go on now. So,
Yeah. But all right, fellas.
all
Same
right,
time next week.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
share, subscribe to the content.
be
All
easy.
right, we up out of
All right,
here.
fellas. All right.